Good morning, guys. Here we go. This is, I think we're on the air. Everything seems to be going. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online. With this new system, I don't know.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an
Subscribe if you don't. We're going on the air now.
Divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors,
got my Starbucks
and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855
Well, that's good.
FLA Estate 855
That's good.
352
I appreciate that. I don't know what you have against weasels, but, obviously there's some issue there.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show...
All righty, yes. Welcome, everyone. Doom, bum, bum. All right, welcome. I'm Brian Craig. It's Tuesday morning, the 14th day of January 2020. We are back here live after yesterday, which was just a disastrous day, which I'll talk about in just a bit. I'll wait till after the first break and get you guys up to date on what happened on yesterday's show. Oh, man, I tell you, it was a disaster, but we'll talk about it later. We got plenty of time for that. There's some really good news to talk about this morning. Very good news. The Democrats are tearing each other apart. There is a civil war inside the Democrat Party. It's happening in the House of Representatives. It's happening on the campaign trail with these Democratic wannabes, and this is spectacular. Here you have President Trump defeating Iran in about 5 days, bringing about an incredible student-led revolution in Iran. This student protest in Iran, it's so interesting when you see the left, right? The left, all of a sudden, they don't like student protest, right, over there in Iran. So, but while we're doing all this winning, President Trump's winning. When President Trump is winning, America's winning, I'm winning, you're winning, we feel great. Brexit's about to happen. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Oh, man, it's spectacular. Well, while we're doing all of this great winning, the left are in a major divide. The Democrats in the House of Representatives are in the midst of a civil war, and the Democrat campaign trail is also in the bit of a civil war as well. And this is good news because, the more divided they are on the left, the better it is for us because we're a united front. We have a couple of guys that have nothing to do that are running against Trump, but, we're united behind Trump. And, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are, in the beginning stages of destroying one another. And I'm very excited about that. Listen to this in CNN. This is a CNN headline this morning. It is stomach churning. Progressives' dread rises as Warren and Sanders collide. Oh, man. Democrats debate tonight. Listen to this. CNN. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. President Trump knows her as Pocahontas. Have for more than a year observed a non-aggression pact designed to keep the Democratic left united as it seeks to topple the party's leading moderate presidential candidates. But over the course of a 24-hour period ahead of tonight's Democrat debate, their always fragile peace has been thrown into doubt, along with progressives' hopes that Sanders and Warren can strike a balance between their own ambitions and a broader project to drive the party left ahead of the coming election. So the Democratic Socialists are at war with one another. And AOC, she's with Bernie. So, oh my goodness, all kinds of problems. The revelations have said, this is CNN I'm reading from. The revelations have set off a panic among progressive activists and strategists. who are now beseeching the campaigns to make a show of unity and push their supporters, especially those with aggressive social media voices, to take the edge of what is rapidly turning into a toxic and self-defeating feud. This is so... Oh, man. I know, right? This is better than coffee in the morning. This is spectacular. Our movement needs to see Sanders and Warren working together to defeat the corporate wing, not attack each other, says Charles Chamberlain. He's chairman of Democracy for America. That's right. What we're looking for them to do is to show that on stage Tuesday night and show solidarity. So he's not calling on them to be united, just to go and lie to their voters and pretend to be united. So good. This is so good. You know, this is one of the beauties of primaries. You know, these primary feuds, they get going, and what happens, these candidates, and it happens every primary, these candidates get together and they get discredited. Look at what Trump did to all of his opponents. I know. The public breakdown began with the revelation on Sunday, as first reported by Politico. Did I say forced instead of first? Let me say that sentence again. The public breakdown began with the revelation on Sunday, as first reported by Politico, that some Sanders volunteers had been instructed to tell voters leaning towards Warren that her appeal was limited to highly educated, more affluent people. Warren responded later in the day by accusing Sanders of sending his volunteers out to trash me and warning that the argument spelled out in the script risked stoking the brand of factionalism. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Bernie Sanders distanced himself from those talking points, but Warren's campaign pressed on, sending out a fundraising email signed by the campaign manager with the same message. Then on Monday afternoon, 4 sources told CNN that during a private 2018 meeting, Bernie Sanders said to Warren that he did not believe a woman could win the presidency. Uh-oh. Now, all of a sudden, Bernie Sanders is a sexist. This is great. This is great. So we've got Warren calling Bernie Sanders a sexist now. This is great. All this winning. In a statement responding to the report, Bernie Sanders fiercely denied having made the comment, describing the accounting as ludicrous and calling it sad that 3 weeks before the Iowa caucus and a year after that private conversation, staff who were not in the room for the meeting are lying about what happened. Elizabeth Warren subsequently backed CNN's account, saying of her conversation with Bernie Sanders, "I thought a woman could win. He, Bernie, disagreed," says Elizabeth Warren. So now we have Elizabeth Warren. This is great. Elizabeth Warren is calling Bernie Sanders a sexist now. This is so, so good. It does not get better than this. And meanwhile, we're united behind Trump. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, I got to tell you, this show is going to be one of the most technically difficult shows I've ever done. And I'll tell you why, and I don't even have everything within my reach. Hold on, guys. I got to do some moving around of some things. Oh, my goodness. Yesterday, we were not on the air live yesterday, and I'll tell you guys what happened. It was a disaster. I came in yesterday morning around, I don't know, about 4:45, because I had, wanted to get here early because I had some, work to do. And we are not at the radio station. You hear me talk about this a lot. We have our own private studio away from the radio station, and we connect to the radio station through a computer system. It's called a Comrex. It's a Comrex line. Is a special broadcast quality internet connection. And I came in yesterday, and the computer that we use to connect to the radio station had crashed. And I couldn't connect to the radio station. And also, that computer has all of our commercials in it. So I come in yesterday. I tried everything I could possibly do to get the computer working. I couldn't do it. But hold on a second. I got to take care of something there. Boom. There we go. Let me do it one more time. Hold on. Let me see here. Let's see. Yes. Got it. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to do something here. So anyway, yesterday, I come in yesterday, and the computer that we connect to the radio station with crashed. And it crashed over the weekend. And I was in a bit of a panic because each and every day at the end of the show, I turn the power off on all of our equipment. And I even unplug it just in case there's a lightning strike or something. And when I saw that our computer had crashed, I thought, oh my goodness, maybe I didn't unplug and turn all the power off over the weekend. And maybe there was a lightning strike that shorted out all of our radio equipment. So I had to go through all of the radio equipment before I got back to the computer and found out, luckily, I did unplug everything. But the computer that I was using was very, very old. And it's actually a Windows computer that was using Windows XP, the computer that crashed. Windows XP. So it had to be 15, 17 years old, this computer, and it finally just gave up. So we had no way to connect to the radio station. And the computer system that we use to connect to the radio station has to be Windows. I have computers. Everything I do is on Mac. I use iPad, iPhone, MacBook, iMac. I've got computers, a lot of them, too many probably, and they're all Macs, and it's not compatible with our radio station equipment. So we went out yesterday to Best Buy and bought a new Windows computer. And I bought the most basic, cheapest Windows you could buy. And most of our commercials were lost in the crashing of the computer. I've got a lot of the commercials left, not all of them. So we're going to record all of our commercials over, which is okay. I mean, it'll take some time to update all the commercials, but Steve and I are going to have to update all of our commercials. But the reason I'm having so much trouble is I've never used Windows 10 before, and this new computer is Windows 10, and I don't know how to use Windows 10. I got everything connected and working yesterday, and I got out of here about noon, and then I got back here this morning at about 4 a.m. and started working on getting everything set up, and it took me until about 5:30, and Windows 10, because I'm so used to Apple products, and the old computer was Windows XP, Windows 10 is so different. I am as confused as if I have never used a computer before or never used the internet before. So it is a total mess. And the program that I used in the past to play the commercials on is not compatible with Windows 10. So I had to get a new program to play the commercials with. And I don't really know how to use it yet. And I know it's a mess, isn't it? I don't have all the commercials, the recorded versions. So it's just a total mess. And I came in here today and I spent 90 minutes getting everything the best I could to get everything going. And I still am very confused by Windows 10 and this new program that I'm using for the very first time to play commercials on. So technically, today and tomorrow and probably this entire week, it's going to be a complete mess here on the show. So, and what the problem with that, because I'm on the air broadcasting, if I had someone here to handle the technical aspects, it'd be no problem. But because I'm by myself, I'm broadcasting on the air, dealing with this Windows 10 that I don't know how to use, dealing with a new program to play the commercials on. It's a digital cart machine. You guys know what cart machines are, some of you radio guys. And it's just a mess, and it's distracting. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I hate Windows 10. It sucks. But I'm going to have to deal with it and get used to it. So things are going to be rough. Things are going to be rough. But you know what? The show must go on. And go on it will. As it has since 1977, the Steve Kane Show. This is the longest running radio show in Florida for very good reason. Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know how to... Oh, okay, do that, do that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Well, I'm starting to learn a little bit how to use this computer. All right, listen, we'll take our first break of the day. We are back here live. It's Tuesday morning. We're doing lots of winning, people. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back. Don't you go anywhere.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
I don't know if I'm awesome, but I'm aggravated. I'll tell you that.
Your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh, my Lord.
Front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do, you know? And the dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours. Put a pen in it. Put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, you know, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is this top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in, but right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
It just looks different.
Listen to the Steve
It looks so different. That's the problem.
Just search for WW.
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. That's right. And, you know, Dr. Gupta over at Brighton Dental, for Steve Kane listeners, has 3 free offers. Okay, you got to mention the Steve Kane Show to get this, or radio. Free exam and free x-rays. That's amazing for everyone. Free exam and free x-rays with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. And also free second opinion. So if you've been to another dentist and they told you need this procedure or that procedure, you go into Dr. Gupta, he will give you a free second opinion. A lot of these dentists out there, you know how it goes. Do I have to tell you? You know how it goes with a lot of these guys. But not Dr. Gupta. Oh, my goodness, I lost that information. This is just a mess. I'm just not doing well today, people. I must tell you, I am not doing well today with this Windows 10. It's like doing everything in reverse. Why doesn't everyone use Apple? Everyone's always praising Steve Jobs. Anyway, call Brighton Dental. Take advantage of the free exam, free x-rays, and a free second opinion if you need a second opinion. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. So tonight is the Democrat debate. And, of course, the Democrats, you know what they're running for, right? The Democrats. What are the Democrats running for? The Democrats... I'm looking for... There it is. Okay, good. What the Democrats are running for is for the right to lose against Donald Trump. That's exactly it. They are running for the right to lose against President Trump in the general election. And lose, indeed, they will. This new computer is quiet. Wow, the other one was making so much noise all the time. I guess because it was 20 years old. Now, MSNBC, they're in a bit of a panic because... tonight's debate, well, it's not the debate that the Democrats and the base were hoping for. You know, Cory Booker has dropped out of the race. Uh-oh. You know, I wonder if that girlfriend thing with him is going to last after the campaign. You know, Cory Booker very well may have had his very first girlfriend. And, of course, he had to get a girlfriend because of the debate or the presidential run. Now that the campaign is over, will he and his girlfriend, Beard, will they stay together? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, so the Democrat debate is tonight. And over at MSNBC, they're a little concerned about the optics of tonight's debate. Listen, this is MSNBC yesterday. Oh, come on. You don't tell me that's not going to work. Don't tell me that's not going to work. You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. See, there's our first snafu. Hold on. That's my first snafu. I thought I transferred everything. It was on my flash drive. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let's see if it works now. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's see if it works now. Okay, there we go. Good. I just had to put the USB drive back in. Okay, so this is... I know, we are professional broadcasters, I assure you. So this is MSNBC yesterday. They're talking about tonight's Democrat debate and the problem with its optics. Listen.
Booker is out. You really have one African-American contender left. That's Vaughn Patrick. And then you have Andrew Yang, both of which have not qualified for the next debate. So next debate at this point is going to be an overwhelmingly white debate, all-white debate. And there are a lot of Democratic voters that are wondering if the Democrats are going to continue to rely on African-American voters and specifically African-American women for their loyalty, how they're going to continue to make that case while not having a field that looks like the voters are trying to get to pursue them. The other thing to note is that, of course, Cory Booker had a message of coming together. He had a
Okay, so this is spectacular. This is spectacular. So we have the Democratic Socialists, which, by the way, Democratic Socialist is communism. Democratic Socialism is a fake term. They're really communists. But anyway, so we've got Bernie and Warren fighting each other, destroying each other's reputation. We got Elizabeth Warren calling Bernie Sanders sexist. We've got Bernie Sanders saying she's not electable. And now we've got MSNBC and we've got women and minorities, blacks in particular, who are upset that they have an all-white field now. Yeah, so tonight, the party of diversity, right? The party of tolerance, the Democrat Party will have a debate tonight, and it will be all white. So, when you look at this, now what does this tell you? What it tells you is that because right now Democrats are catering their message to activist Democrats, right? It's a primary. It's primary. So there's two minorities left, Yang and Vaughn Patrick. Neither of them have qualified for this debate. So it's going to be all white people up on the Democrat debate stage tonight. So what this really means, they're very concerned about this at MSNBC, of course. What this really means is that the Democrat voters don't want to have a candidate of color. The candidates of color either have been forced out of the race or have not qualified for the debate because the Democrat voters have been weeding out candidates of color. Why is the Democrat Party not supporting candidates of color? Does anyone know? Why do you think that is? Why is Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren doing well, but Senator Cory Booker is out? And Senator Kamala Harris? They can talk about racism in America, but this is a Democrat primary. This is a decision made solely by Democrats. All those racist Republicans, I know they call us racist Republicans all the time. We don't have a voice here. The only voices here are voices of Democrats. So while you're out there talking about racism and the lack of diversity, which is true, there's lack of diversity there tonight, the Democrats need to ask themselves, what is it about our Democrat voter base that is not supporting candidates of color?
contender left. That's Vaughn Patrick. And then you have Andrew Yang, both of which have not qualified for the next debate. So next debate at this point is going to be an overwhelmingly white debate, all-white debate. And there are a lot of Democratic voters that are wondering if the Democrats are going to continue to rely on African-American voters and specifically African-American women for their loyalty, how they're going to continue to make that case while not having a field that looks like the voters are trying to get to pursue them. The other thing to note is that, of course, Cory Booker had a message together. He had a message of not attacking his opponents. It might now look like there might be a feistier way to win this race when we look at, I know we'll be talking about later, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and other people.
This woman talks way too fast for me, or maybe it's just the early hour of the morning. I've been up since 1:30 in the morning because of all this technical stuff. So if I seem a bit loopy today, I've been up for a long time. But that's okay. I have hormone replacement pellet therapy to get me through the day, giving me my hormones back to their natural levels where they were when I was in my 20s, and I can go all day. I can go all day because I've got my hormones restored. But this is a fascinating thing that's going on with the Democrats. The Democrat Party is destroying itself from within. And we don't want them to correct this. We want the Democrat Party to be destroyed from within. We want the Democrat Party to not succeed, but because we believe Donald Trump. And by the way, everybody at the football championships the other night, they think Donald Trump also is the man who will continue to not only make America great again, but keep it great again. And listen, these Democrats that they have are all losers, okay? There's not one person that's going to be on that stage tonight that's electable on a national stage. Donald Trump has done a lot of things, but one thing is he has changed the standards for what voters expect from their candidates. And what voters expect are not promises, but results. And candidates typically, especially these Democrats, are big on promises, but short on results. And he's just changed the game. Yeah, Project Veritas, is it today? Project Veritas is talking about some big release that has to do with Bernie Sanders. Does any idea what that might be? Has anything leaked out yet? Usually Veritas does their news drops around 11 or 12. So I'll be looking for that one. I mean, but the question is, do you want Bernie Sanders discredited now? But you know what? It actually might be great because it's the debates is tonight. So I guess if they do have something big on Bernie Sanders, today would be a good day for it because of the debate tonight. And Elizabeth Warren, that would be spectacular. That would be spectacular. Yeah, that might make the debate interesting. But I got to tell you, I don't watch the Democrat debates. What I do for the Democrat debates is catch them in the mornings and when I get up and do my show prep. If anything eventful happened, I'll find it. I'll go through the sound bites. I really don't have the patience to sit and listen to these Democrats try to out-commie each other. I really don't. I find the Democrat debates boring, incredibly uneventful, and the candidates running, none of them have a personality. You've got to have a personality, whatever it is. Bill Clinton had a personality, Barack Obama, they all. Donald Trump certainly does. There's no one up there that has a personality or anything interesting to say. So the debates are, and they have too many debates, and they debate too early too. What can a candidate say tonight that we haven't heard them say 500 other times? There is nothing. And the debates with Trump, those were very different because those were cage matches. Because what President Trump did pretty much in every debate, he had his eyes on one of his opponents, whether it was Lindsey Graham this week or Little Marco or Sleepy Jeff, and he would focus his everything on that particular person, and it was a cage match, which made it interesting. What goes on with these Democrats is uninteresting. There's nothing unique, and there's nothing different, and they're boring. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's 31 minutes after 6. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined
Sarah.
him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681.
Hey, Sarah, what are the dates you're going to be in Florida for your next trip?
7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care
Neil.
of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Than we were before.
Oh, see, technical problems.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th, from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca.
Your
To
ship
attend
leaves
this
on the
free
4th?
event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Attention all Barry's Vitamins customers. All the vitamins and supplements you know and love are available at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Centers, and the prices are a fraction of what you were paying before. Stop in or call Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot Nutrition
Does
Centers
your ship
is
leave on the
located
4th?
a half mile south of Sample Road on the west side of State Road 7 in the Penn Dutch Plaza. Speak with Al.
Sarah's
He's
going
the
on
owner.
another
Tell him
cruise.
what supplements you were looking for, and he will be more than happy to get you the supplements you need. Save-A-Lot Nutrition Centers, 754.
Oh, what just happened?
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
The phones are working. I just didn't answer them.
Search for Double-
Yes, yes. All right. If you'd like to call the show, the phones are. I just haven't answered the phone. Sorry about that. I have everything's in total chaos over here. The whole studio's a mess. Equipment's where it's not normally at because I've been here trying to figure this out, and you saw what just happened there. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Disaster. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll free 1-888 Go Kane 1. That's 888-465-2631. By the way, come and meet me and Steve Kane. Attorney Barry Siegel's seminars coming up on the 28th. The Medicaid planning is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust is at 2. And these are completely free workshops that Barry is having. He would like you to call and make a reservation. I will be there at the 2 o'clock Living Trust Seminar. Steve will be at the 10 a.m. Medicaid Planning Seminar. But just call Barry's office to let them know you're coming so they know how large of a room, how many tables and chairs and beverages, etc. at 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782, 855-352-3782. Oh my gosh, I've gotten through the first 36 minutes with, well, some technical issues, but like I say, show must go on, and we're keeping on with the, we're keeping trucking right down the highway. Very frustrating, people. It's a very frustrating day. Oh man, yeah. So the Democrat debates tonight, and you know what's going on in the UK with Prince Harry and Meghan. You know, it seems to me, you know, this is such a great thing. This is such a great thing. I am so glad that this is happening. And it's a wonderful thing that's happening with Harry and Meghan. They want to move to Canada. She really wants to be in America. But I guess Canada is a Commonwealth nation, so it's an easier transition for them to make. And, you know, all this dust up about Harry, I watch a lot of the UK news. It is a huge story over there. I mean, it's really, the country is very upset. It seems very upset about this. You would think they really wouldn't care because Harry is so far removed, you know, but they seem to care. And I'll tell you what's great about it. What's great about it is here we are approaching, finally, Brexit. And this strong national opposition to Harry and Meghan leaving the official duties and moving to Canada so she can act, is really brought through the UK this nationalistic, patriotic theme going on. And with all these creeps fighting against Brexit, you can see that the people of the UK love their country, love their monarchy, love their heritage, and want to maintain a British identity, not some globalist EU Obama-backed nothing. And what's going on with Harry is really bringing so many people so vocally in support of British culture, British history, nationalism as the Brexit date finally approaches. And I think that's a good thing. And, you know, everyone's blaming Meghan. Very nasty. People are just vicious towards Meghan. I think this is just as much him as it is her. You know? A lot of people, including me, have always questioned whether Charles is even his father because, you know, if you remember with Prince Harry, there were tabloid rumors that Diana had an affair with her redheaded limo driver. And, yeah, I can't remember his name, but there was a lot about the redheaded limo driver. And Harry has red hair, and nobody else in the royal family has red hair. And a lot of people believe that limo driver is his real father, not Charles. I don't know if that's true or not. But maybe it is. And maybe Harry has kind of felt that. You know? You know, when the Queen had her message a couple weeks ago and she didn't have their pictures there, a lot of people say that was the final straw. I don't think so. You know, I think Harry and Meghan have been planning this probably maybe even before they were married. You know, I don't think he liked being in the shadow over there, so far removed. He's, you know, he's a royal, he's a prince, he's got all that. But he's so far removed, and everything is really a ranking class system in that family. Look at how his brother's behaving. His brother is behaving like a jerk. You know, the future king, William. You know, they're not talking. They're having a feud. I don't blame him. And, you know, a lot of people are giving Harry a hard time because he was at an event with Bob Iger, the president or CEO of Disney, and was pitching Meghan to do voiceover work, which I think would be amazing. Could you imagine having a Disney princess voiced by a real princess? That would be pretty cool, be groundbreaking. Never has happened before. But I think he just feels like he's on the outs with that family. Maybe it's because of the limo driver rumor. Maybe he's just so far removed and his brother's a jerk. You know, Harry was always outside of the royal circles. He went, was it Afghanistan he went to in the military? He was in America quite a bit when he was single. So, you know, they're making this out to be some big deal. If it was William, I think it would be a big deal. But I think it's spectacular. I think this is the best thing that could possibly happen to the UK with the Brexit. But, you know, that Brexit should have been done with by now. The people voted. And there's no better time to bring through a feeling of national pride and a love of tradition and a love of heritage and everything else than what's going on right now in the UK by this defense of the royals. Katie Hopkins, oh my goodness, I'm a big fan of Katie Hopkins, and she is just having a fit about this. You know, I mean, she is really upset. Have you seen any of Katie Hopkins' videos on Twitter? She's very upset about this. It's hard for me to really care too much about it because, you know, I don't have that bond or connection to the UK or to the royal family. And Meghan, she was a minor D-list celebrity in America. You know, that show Suits. I watched a little bit of Suits when the wedding was going on. And she's not a bad actress. And her and Harry could make boatloads of money in America and be completely independent. So, you know, who cares, right? It's amazing how much of the news is dominated by it. You know, I'm really surprised, but I'm not dominated by it, and I'm not affected by it. I just, I don't know. I don't think they like her too much over there for two reasons. One, she's black, and one, she's American. I don't think they liked her from the beginning. But another thing too about Harry and his wife, she's older than him. And Harry lost his mother when he was what? Was he 12 when Diana died? Man. So he grew up without a mother, and a lot of people say she's wears the pants in the family. Well, when someone like Harry has grown up without a mother, he lost his mother when he was a young boy, he may be looking to have it. She's an older woman, his wife. He may want that strong female mother figure bossing him around a little bit because he didn't have his mother during very important years in his life. And, he was talking, Harry, about the press. He said that every time he sees a reporter, he thinks about his mother. And he sees what he and his wife are going through over there in the UK and in their travels in Europe. And it reminds him so much of what Diana went through with the press, and he doesn't want to live that way. Let him live his life. It's like he's a slave or a prisoner. Like they may let him go. They'll let him go on some work release and do, It's amazing how little freedom the monarchy have. But it's a curse. The monarchy is a curse. They have fame, they have fortune, they have titles, they have ceremony, they got all these things. But the price for it is that they're not really free, So, you gotta decide what you're gonna do. All right, hey, we're gonna take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. Our phones are open. Our number toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon.
What was that? Brian does what?
Miles around just because of
his
great.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you.
And his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials.
You guys, I had Alan Dershowitz on my podcast yesterday. It's uploaded on my YouTube channel.
So that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, where we are recovering from a computer crash yesterday, which kept us off the air. Things are a mess in the studio. It is completely confusing, and things are just a mess here. But you know what, though? The show, we'll get through it. We've been through work. We've been through hurricanes on this program, okay? Steve, I collapsed on the air. Steve had to call the paramedics, and they wheeled me out of the studio, paramedics, with an IV. That, we've been through a lot. We'll get through Windows 10. I know it. Yeah, oh, by the way, I had Alan Dershowitz on my podcast yesterday. If you guys want to check that out. He was accused by one of the Epstein accusers of having sex with underage girls, and I had Alan Dershowitz on my podcast yesterday. And that interview's up on my podcast, on my YouTube channel. You can check that out, The Brian Craig Show, or Brian Craig on YouTube, Alan Dershowitz. Yeah, I know. I've got Alan Dershowitz's cell phone number now. I'm all excited. Yeah, if I ever need a lawyer, I'll call Alan Dershowitz. I got his number now. I got to tell you, one thing that is so, so important, and you'll hear a common theme with this with many of our sponsors, and that is we are here to save you money wherever possible. Because there's a lot of places where you bleed out money needlessly. And one of those places is when it comes to your homeowner's insurance policy. You know, most people have their homeowner's insurance attached to their mortgage. And what happens, you know, if you have a mortgage and you have your homeowner's policy attached to your mortgage payment goes down over the years because as you pay that mortgage, you're paying off more of the principal and it goes down. And at the same time, though, unless you call I Will Advisors and have Debbie review it, the homeowner's insurance policy rises and rises and rises a little bit just to keep, and your mortgage payment seems to stay the same. I review my homeowner's insurance policy each and every year. And if you call Debbie at I Will Advisors, call right now and leave a message, 954-753-8080. Have her review your homeowner's insurance policy. I review mine every year. If you haven't had it reviewed this year, you're probably paying too much. It costs you nothing. Even if you make a decision to change policies, it costs you nothing. You only have to gain on this. If your homeowner's policy is attached to your mortgage, you will actually be lowering your mortgage payment. And commercial property owners, same goes for you. You know, you have property casualty insurance on your commercial property. Have it reviewed by Debbie at I Will Advisors. I promise you, it goes up each and every year, and she's very good at what she does. She has an entire team that focus on property casualty homeowners insurance policies. Make sure you're not paying too much, and make sure everything you need covered is covered. And make sure you're not paying for things that don't need to be covered. There's all kinds of ways to lower your homeowner's insurance policy, and you should take advantage of it. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. All right, now let me see here. I got to get ready for the next break. This is just, you know, I had the same machine for all these years, and now that I have something new, I'm very, very confused. Everything's in a different spot. Okay, I'm looking for, where's the commercial? There it is. Okay. Is that one working? Oh, my goodness. This is a mess. This is a mess. Let's take care of that, take care of that, take care of that, that. Okay, will this work now? You're kidding me. Oh, my goodness. What a mess I'm in, people. I got to tell you, this is a rough day. And when I tell you that I'm having a difficult time tech-wise, I am not kidding you. I got to try something else. I'm doing this live on the air because I have no choice. Oh, the computer, it froze. Oh my goodness, the new program just shut down. Oh my goodness, what a mess. This is one of those days. I was telling Steve this yesterday. He's like, oh, what's the big deal? We'll get through it. And I told Steve, I said, this is one of those days where if we just, that I would like having like a board op here. Like if we had a board op here today, it would be, I wouldn't have to worry about all, oh, there we go. Okay, and boom, all right. This is one of those days I could use a board op here, I could use an intern here, and just focus in on the broadcast and not do all this stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess. We're broadcasting on 3 FM radio stations. We're broadcasting on an AM radio station. We've tens of thousands of people listening. And, but hey, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. But you may have to bear with me vamping as I'm concentrating and getting everything worked out. Okay. All right. So anyway, the Democrat debates tonight were very exciting. You know, what's going on in Iran is spectacular. And after the top of the hour break, I'll get into a whole bunch of sound bites I have. But you know, this impeachment is finally going to be sent over to the Senate this week, they're saying. Nancy Pelosi has held on to this for a month. It might have even been a month plus at this point. I've lost track of the days. And what Nancy Pelosi had going for her that she lost is she had momentum in the beginning. You know, they steamrolled this thing through. And at the moment when they were about to lose control, once they send things to the House of Representatives, they lose control of the process. And Democrats are a lot of things. And one thing I've come to learn about Democrats is they're control freaks. They want to control your life. They want to control where you live. They want to control how much your carbon output is. They want to control everything. They say we're the ones that are control freaks. They are incredible control freaks. And once Nancy sends this over to the Senate, the Democrats have lost control of the process. I'll give you an example of this in another instance. When this god-awful event happened in Parkland at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and we found out all the terrible things that had gone on, and there was a big push for Sheriff Scott Israel to resign, and he wouldn't resign. And he was finally removed by the governor, Ron DeSantis, and people were like, why won't he resign? I mean, this is just terrible what he's going. Why does he? Because the moment he resigns, he loses control. While he was in office, he controlled everything, the investigation, the message, what the sheriff's office was doing, what the sheriff's office was saying. And the second he resigned, he lost control. And that's what's going on with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. And I know there's some people saying, well, Mitch McConnell doesn't have the vote to have no witnesses and dismiss it. I don't know about that. Regardless of what happens during the process, President Trump is not going to be removed from office. They don't have the votes for that. And so far as witnesses, at this point, there is no need for witnesses, no need for any testimony. There should be an immediate vote, and the vote should be to dismiss. Everything that could possibly be said by a witness has been said 10,000 times, 10,000 different ways. The Democrats want to have witnesses and prolong it, because they want to keep bringing President Trump's good name and his great presidency and drag it through the mud. But they had hearings. Some of them weren't public. A lot of them were. There is nothing new to be learned by any witnesses. It's just an attempt to drag everything out even further. So they should vote to dismiss it, and this is a shame. It really is a shame. And Nancy Pelosi, let me pull this clip up. Where is this clip of Pelosi? She was talking about what if there's a dismissal and they don't have a trial with witnesses, et cetera, et cetera. This was over the weekend.
Leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, has signed on to a resolution to dismiss the case. To dismiss the case. That, in his view, may be...
but he's committed to having the presentations first now.
I'm telling you that he signed on Thursday to a resolution to dismiss the case. The dismissing is a cover-up.
The dismissing is a cover-up? Everything has been so out and open and in the sunshine. Okay? And the Republicans were demanding witnesses, including the whistleblower and Hunter Biden, during the House hearings, and they didn't want to have it. And they called all these different witnesses. There's no cover-up if something is in the open, right? All these witnesses have been questioned multiple times, and it's happened on national television. There's no cover-up. The cover-up are having anonymous sources that you won't call as a witness. And I'll tell you, there should be one witness, and that should be the whistleblower. We might be surprised about the whistleblower. I know there's all this talk about who they are. The whistleblower may be someone different. That's possible. We don't really know for sure. We don't have a confirmation on who the whistleblower is. But there should be the whistleblower. In America, we have a right to face our accuser. In America, we don't have secret witnesses that testify in secret. That's why, there are protections for witnesses, but you have a right to face your accuser in a trial. You don't face your accuser before the trial. They give testimony to law enforcement or a grand jury or something. But when it comes to a trial, you have a constitutional right to face your accuser. And President Trump should be able to face his accuser, and that would be whoever the whistleblower is. And I'm sorry, that's our system. If Democrats don't like our system, because it's not benefiting them right now, but that's our system. And that if they keep pushing for witnesses, what they're going to find is be careful what you wish for, because you are going to get something that you don't want, and what you are going to get is the whistleblower called. You're also probably going to get Hunter Biden called. Maybe even Joe Biden, because these instances involving Hunter Biden and Joe Biden are relevant to the case. Remember that old saying, be careful what you wish for. The Democrats don't want this. They think they do, but they don't. Oh, man. Let me take care of this one. Let me take care of that. Boom. Boom. Okay. There we go. It's a rough day, people. You should have seen me yesterday. I was about to pull my hair out yesterday with all of our technical issues. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. That's right. Valentine's Day right around the corner. And a great and perfect gift for anyone on your Valentine's list is any of the many My Pillow products. I'll tell you, for your spouses and girlfriends out there, it'd be a great gift for Valentine's Day, a My Pillow mattress. If you go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, that's right, K-A-N-E at checkout, you can save up to $400 off a My Pillow mattress, up to $400. It's a great deal, isn't it? Yeah. There's a lot of other great deals up there, too. Another great gift is the My Pillow body pillow. This is a spectacular deal. Let me pull up the price on this, because this is an incredible deal. The My Pillow body pillow, the regular price, $89.99. But if you click on the radio listener specials at mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, just $29.99. And get this, they're still running this other special where you can save another $10 off. So you can get that My Pillow body pillow, actually not for $89.99, but for $19.99 when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. If you go to, my wife and I ordered for Christmas My Pillows, including the body pillows for some people. They make great gifts every time you want to give a gift. My Pillows are spectacular. If you go to stevekaneshow.com or on my YouTube channel, when Steve has a My Pillow body pillow. When Steve's My Pillow body pillow came in the mail from My Pillow, I made a video about the My Pillow body pillow. So go to stevekaneshow.com and you can see this video. I have it right up there at stevekaneshow.com. I show you what the body pillow looks like when you get it in the mail. I go in my garage, put it in the laundry room, and show you what this pillow is like, which is spectacular. And you can actually, right now, get the My Pillow body pillow, not for $89.99, but just $19.99. But you got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The My Pillow pet bed's always great. 30% off on all of those with the promo code KANE. And of course, the buy one, get one My Pillow free offer is still there. You buy one My Pillow, you get a second one absolutely free, but you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout in the radio listeners special section. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. My name's Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977. We're going to have to take our break here. Hold on, I got to get everything queued up before the break, because we've got this new system that I don't know how to use. No, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Wait a minute. Everything's so different now. Oh, my goodness. This is such a mess. I'm never going to get used to this new system. When you have the same system for all these years, and then all of a sudden you've got something new, it just throws you off. All right, let's take our break. We'll be right back. I'm Brian. This is The Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that one, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man, and Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Oh, it didn't go to the next one. Okay.
This is Steve Kane.
Okay, let's see if this one
When it comes
works.
to looking your best, sometimes...
Oh, great,
you need a
CJ.
little
Yeah, I gotta
extra
talk
help.
about that a little
Dr.
later.
Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make
Good
you
morning,
look
Connie.
your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentation, facelift, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients.
I don't trust
They
John
love
Roberts.
Dr.
They flipped him
Nathan.
on Obamacare. I'll never forget
He
that.
has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always
So I can
remain
actually
true to who
get
you are.
Windows
You
10
can
reverted to the
contact
old
Dr.
XP
Nathan for
setup?
a
Oh,
no-charge
that'd be so
consultation by
spectacular.
calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888.
Yes. All right. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Oh my goodness, complete disasters, complete confusion off the air with our new computer system here. Oh my goodness. Is it 9 o'clock yet? Got a long day ahead of me. All right, so much going on, so much to do. You know, do you feel like for the first time in a long time, we have Americans running the country that are putting America first? You know, our politicians, Trump talks, and I'm not just talking about Obama, I'm talking about all of them. Trump talks about this a lot, about how these politicians have been selling this country out for decades. They've been selling this country out since at least the post-war era. And it's gotten worse and worse. And our Attorney General Barr is just doing a spectacular job. You know, we had another terrorism incident here in Florida, Pensacola, right? That foreign officer that was up there. And the Attorney General called it terrorism, which is something we have not heard. Think about this. This is Barr. He's talking about the incident. Listen.
On December 6th, Second Lieutenant Mohammed Saeed al-Shamrani, a member of the Royal Saudi Air Force, entered a building on grounds of the Pensacola Naval Air station and killed 3 U.S. sailors and severely wounded 2 other Americans. He was killed during the attack. This was an act of terrorism. The evidence shows that the shooter was motivated by jihadist ideology.
Wow. I mean, that's so new because, we've had multiple terrorist attacks take place. This is the 3rd terrorist attack, Islamic terrorist attack we've had in Florida. And the previous 2 under our previous president were not called that. One of them was the shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport a couple years ago. Remember that one? That was an Islamic jihadi attack. It wasn't called that by anyone, but it was. The guy that shot up the baggage carousel. The Pulse nightclub was Islamic terrorism at the Pulse nightclub. It was the shooter, and that's been portrayed as anti-gay hate. The shooter at the Pulse nightclub, that was not his main target. His first target was Walt Disney World, that the shopping district at Walt Disney World. It's called Disney Springs. And that night, he went to Disney Springs to shoot up Disney Springs. And they have him on video out in front of the place at the entrance, pacing back and forth. And there just so happened at the House of Blues that night, Bob Iger talked about this in his new book. I listened to Bob Iger's book on tape, and his audio book, and he talked about this. They have him on video pacing back and forth in front of the entrance at Walt Disney World's Disney Springs. And there happened to be a concert at the House of Blues that night, and they had added security. So he left, and he got in his car, and he drove to the Pulse nightclub and committed his terrible acts there. And it was terrible. Don't misunderstand me, but it was not anti-gay hate. It was Islamic terrorism, just like the Fort Lauderdale airport shooter, just like Pensacola. Oh, and let's not forget, the guy that shot up the Pulse nightclub, his father was on stage in the audience with Hillary Clinton when she was running for president, and she gave a speech up in the Orlando area. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. And under Barack Obama, when there were acts of terrorism, they were not called that. Look at Fort Hood. We had a spy in the United States Army, Nadal Hassan, and the Obama administration classified that as workplace violence, Fort Hood. And, when you classify things other than what they are, the proper investigation and follow-up does not take place to stop future attacks. Not everything that's done is terrorism, but if it is terrorism, it should be called terrorism by the authorities and handled as such. At Fort Hood, there were a lot of people got shot at Fort Hood. And because it was declared workplace violence and not an act of terrorism, victims at Fort Hood did not get their proper VA benefits because it was classified as a workplace violence issue. Pretty sad. And that's what Obama did. And, and the reason Obama did that is for the same reason that all these Democrats like John Kerry and others are very upset about what's going on in Iran right now. This student uprising in Iran has the left in a total meltdown because it's happening under Donald Trump. And you see these students, I did not know that they painted American flags on the ground that big. I'd heard about that in the past, but I'd never seen them before. And when you see these Iranian students refusing to step on the American and Israeli flag, they are taking their lives in their hands like you can't believe. And they're not just risking their lives, they're risking their entire futures, and they're also risking their families. And Donald Trump has sparked a revolution. And you know what I'm wondering about Soleimani? I've been wondering about this since the weekend with these protests. I'm wondering if Soleimani was not the real leader in Iran. I don't mean by their whatever I know the Ayatollah is the number one guy. But things have fallen apart in Iran without Soleimani. Now, Soleimani, of course, the last protest, he was responsible for bringing them down, and they don't have anybody over there to replace him with that iron fist he had. But it seems that he was running the joint. And you know, to see what's going on right now in Iran under Donald Trump is spectacular. I remember when they had those demonstrations, I think it was '09, because I remember those demonstrations they had. It was the same week that Michael Jackson died, because I was in D.C. with my daughter, and I remember the Iranians having these candlelight vigils on the streets in D.C., and I was there when Michael Jackson died. I think it was '09. We didn't give them any support. We didn't, you know, these monsters like Soleimani are running around in Iraq, killing protesters. Nothing was done. And President Trump over the weekend, when he started tweeting those farces, was spectacular. And Donald Trump made history. His tweet in Farsi in support of the protesters in Iran is the most liked tweet in Farsi in Twitter history. And that's amazing because it happened so quick. It's not a tweet that was up there for a year. It was up there, boom, and instantly broke a record. And, you know, what's been going on with United States policy towards Iran since 1979 is the United States has refused to act time and time again because they were afraid of what the Iranian response would be, that the Iranians were all powerful with these terror cells everywhere. And I think what President Trump has proved to us is that Iran is a paper tiger like the Soviet Union in the Cold War, that Iran has been on the verge of collapse. And the only thing that's probably kept Iran alive as a nation was Barack Obama giving them that bailout with all that cash. That's probably why they're existing today as a country. But Iran is nothing. There was no response. They had that face-saving response, bombing the empty desert, which I think Trump was behind organizing that, to give them a face-saving measure so the conflict wasn't escalated. You know? And now these students are rising up, and Soleimani is not there to kill them. And President Trump's given a warning. And when President Trump talks about sanctions and increasing sanctions, he really knows how to get to the pocketbook of people. You know, a lot of times in the past, when they talk about sanctions prior to Trump, the United States, they're not real sanctions. They may be sanctions that hurt the people, but they're not sanctions that financially hurt the leadership. And when President Trump talks about increased sanctions or sanction pressure, what he's talking about is stopping the leaders from having access to their money. Remember when Arafat had his whole family living in Paris like kings and queens? And he was held up, you know, in the Palestinian territories. You know, he was out because all that money was coming in. Trump knows how to hurt these people. And where you hurt them is in their pocketbook. See, they don't care if their people suffer, because if their people suffer in these dictatorships and theocracies like this, they use it. Look at what America's doing. That's why I always tell people in Cuba, the Castros always had worn fatigues. And the reason they always wore fatigues, army fatigues, is because the fight was continuing. And the U.S. embargo is probably what has helped Cuba survive all this time. Because they have a bad guy. Yes, you're suffering. You don't have enough milk. You don't have enough food. It's because of America. Same thing in Iran. But the communists in Cuba and the leaders in Iran, they still have access to their money. Their bank accounts are loaded and they got tons of cash. So Trump's talking about cutting off their personal money. And that's how you get to those people. Past presidents have never gotten to the money of the leaders of these countries. They've allowed them to have millions, if not billions of dollars while the people suffered. And there's the illusion of sanctions. Sanctions are just an illusion. It's propaganda really for both sides. With Donald Trump, sanctions are real. And what's going on in Iran right now is absolutely amazing. And for the first time, these students in their protest have an opportunity to actually be victorious over there. And I'll tell you, these student protests are the first student protests you see the left not support. And these student protesters in Iran are risking their lives just as much as Tiananmen Square protesters were. Remember, that guy in front of the tank was killed. That famous photograph from Tiananmen Square. That's what's going on in Iran right now. And you see the Democrats, you see the media, they hate it because they would rather the people over there live under tyranny and a theocracy, have no freedom and suffer than to have Iran liberated while Trump is president because they don't want him to get credit for it. Now, I played that clip of Nancy Pelosi. I didn't play the whole thing earlier, and I don't want to forget to go back to it. This was her talking about the dismissal. Listen to, when it gets to the end, listen to the tone of Pelosi.
Leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, has signed on to a resolution to dismiss the case. To dismiss the case. That, in his view, may be...
but he's committed to having the presentations first.
I'm telling you that he signed on Thursday to a resolution to dismiss the case. Dismissing is a cover-up. Dismissing is a cover-up. If they want to go that route again, the senators who are thinking now about voting for witnesses or not, they will have to be accountable for not having a fair trial.
You made the point.
I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, not having a fair trial. The one who hasn't had a fair trial thus far is the President of the United States and the voters who elected him by what they've been doing, from the FISA warrant abuses to Schiff and Nadler's hearings. Those were cover-ups. Those were miscarriage of justice. All right, listen, let's take our break. 18 minutes after 7, I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I know some of you have been calling, and I got so much chaos going here. I haven't answered the phones, but they are working. I promise you. I'm sorry I haven't answered the phones. I've got my mind on 20 different things over here with this new system we have. Toll-free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Are you kidding me? See? Another problem. Just froze up on me here. Hold on. We'll get it going. I can't believe this. I told you, it's going to be rough, people. It's going to be rough. I told you it would be rough. It's rough. This is spectacular. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now, if I wasn't here alone, I'd be able to get through this a little easier. But I got no one to do the technical stuff while I'm trying to figure out all these things. I cannot believe that just happened. Okay, here we go. Oh, man, is it working now? It's tough. It's tough. There's worse things. I know. It could be worse. It could be much worse. But it feels like it's as bad as it can get. Hold on. I'm almost ready. Bear with me, people. All right, here we go. We'll be right back, I think, this time.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to give you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Are you experiencing a loss of your sexual desire as well as your ability to have sex, period? This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I am pleased to tell you about the...
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
See what I mean? See what I mean, people? I know. We are probably, I would say we're at about 80% capacity here on the Steve Kane Show today. We're at 80% capacity. But you know what? I'll just do the commercials live. Oh my goodness. You know, I've been up since 1:30 in the morning. And I got up at 1:30 in the morning because I had so much to do here this morning. I still have everything completely chaotic here. And I'm doing great. I mean, I've been up since 1:30. I've been here in the studio since 4 a.m. And it was putting together this new computer system, which is failing me. from our computer crash yesterday. And I got a pretty busy day ahead of me, too. After the show, Steve and I have some things to do. And the reason that I'll be able to be up since 1:30 in the morning and get through the day and do everything I've got to do is Dr. Matez and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is absolutely amazing. You know, first off, hormone replacement therapy is 100% natural. It's just replacing those natural hormones that you lose as you grow older. In fact, part of the aging process is your hormone levels being reduced. That's why you get tired, you lose your sex drive, you lose the ability to have sex, and everything else that goes along with it. And hormone replacement pellet therapy, what it does, it restores your hormones to their natural levels where they were when you were in your mid-20s. So you have, naturally, the energy to get through a long day like I'm doing today. If you've lost your sex drive will be restored. If you've lost the ability to get and maintain an erection, well, that'll come back too with hormone replacement pellet therapy. It's absolutely amazing. And for women in the audience who have gone through menopause, suffering with menopause, hormone replacement pellet therapy will completely reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. The mood swings, the night sweats, vaginal dryness, all these things will be reversed. Call Dr. Mitch Matez. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. It's a completely free consultation if you are a Steve Kane radio listener. So you got to mention the Steve Kane Show or mention radio, you know, and you'll get that free consultation. That's right. His number, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com. All right, let's go to the phones. Conservative Doug, you're on the air.
Good morning, good morning. You know, I was talking to some Iranians who say that the sanctions are killing them. They have 1,000%
Oh, thanks for that super chat. Who did that come
now,
from?
and
Sarah.
everybody is dying to get rid of this administration and get some more democratic people in there.
Yeah.
Maybe our government helps out a little bit. Maybe they'll fail and will now be kind of like the end of the Soviet Union.
Yes. All right. I appreciate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't understand anything he said.
Is an embarrassment. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, who is she an embarrassment to? You know, Nancy Pelosi. I think she's doing a great job for us. Oh, look who we have on the line. Good morning, Al the John. How are you? Oh, thanks, Beverly.
Good morning. A couple things I want to discuss. One, I want to thank Janice Ciparelli for recommending MCT powder. It's organic powder for the brain. And maybe some of your snafus and senior moments might be less if you were taking it.
These are not senior moments. We had a computer crash yesterday. We put in a new computer system that was just installed this morning, so we're doing a dry run live on the air with it.
Did global warming cause your computer to crash?
No, the computer was about 15 or 17 years old, and it just wore out. Sorry. By the way, I got your message on the voicemail yesterday. I might play it later. It was very bizarre.
A better one. I'll give you. I'll quote Leonard Cohen. I'll quote Leonard Cohen. The war was lost. The tree was signed. I was not caught. Fine. I was not caught.
I don't know if that's Leonard Cohen or Ace of Base that you're quoting there, but I do know this, that Elizabeth Warren has said that your candidate, Bernie Sanders, is a sexist, that he said a woman could not win the presidency. What's going on there? Why are these Democratic socialists attacking each other?
Let me give you a very easy response. 70% of the people working at his campaign quarters in Burlington, Vermont, and in D.C., and in Iowa, 70% women. 70%.
Yeah, but they're not running for president. He is. So so he is saying, Elizabeth Warren has said that Bernie Sanders told her that a woman could not win the presidency. Did Bernie Sanders say that, or is Elizabeth Warren a liar? They both can't be true. One of them has to be lying. Is it Bernie or Elizabeth Warren? Now, Elizabeth Warren does have a pattern of lying about the Indian heritage and all of that stuff. So which one's lying, Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren?
Well, Elizabeth Warren
Thanks, guys, for the super
Won't be in
chats.
the race for very long.
No, but I understand. But she says that Bernie Sanders is a sexist, that Bernie Sanders told her in a private phone call, which is now very public, that, and you guys are all into private phone conversations, president, Ukrainian president, So in a private phone call, Elizabeth Warren says that Bernie Sanders told her that a woman could not win the presidential election. There's about 4 witnesses that have backed her up on that. Bernie Sanders has said that that's not true. He did not say that. One of them is lying. So is it Bernie Sanders who's lying, or is it Elizabeth Warren who is lying?
Elizabeth Warren is taking something out of context.
Oh, so he did say it.
She's the wrong woman.
No, that's not what... No, he didn't say that he said that. He denied saying anything of the kind. So he didn't say anything about her or according to him. This is interesting. So you think Bernie's lying. See, I thought Elizabeth Warren would probably be lying because I just can't imagine Bernie Sanders telling a female senator that a woman can't be president.
Took it out of context, and she's lying because she took something out of context.
Oh, so Elizabeth Warren's a liar. Oh, I'll give you that. She is definitely has a history of lying.
Saudi Arabia recalled 21 military personnel trained in the United States. 550 Saudi military trainees throughout the country.
It sounds to me by your phone call that my computer is not the only thing that's crashed. It sounds like you've crashed too. I mean, you're just kind of rambling. You don't. It doesn't sound like you're rambling to you because you're rambling and out of it somehow. Just like in that bizarre phone message. You left me a phone message yesterday morning, and you were kind of giggling with this evil laugh.
I was laughing because I thought you had another senior moment and forgot to come to the station.
When do I have senior moments? When do I not show up to work? Oh my God, I gotta go. I just can't talk to him anymore. We're having all these technical problems. The problems of this show will never be so bad that I'm going to have that kind of conversation. But you know, what's going on with Al the John there, I think is very typical among liberals, that they are losing. They've had so many schemes. They've got no candidates. Trump has beaten them on every front. Barr and Durham are coming with indictments. The impeachment has been a failure, and they're losing their minds. You know, what's going on with Vince Vaughn is unbelievable. Listen to this. Now, this is in Fox. Movie star Vince Vaughn. Is Vince Vaughn still a movie star? When's the last time he was in a major movie? I don't know. Movie star Vince Vaughn, a self-described libertarian who has supported Republican candidates in the past, this is Fox News, is facing backlash on social media after a video emerged on Twitter showing him with President Trump in a private box during the national championship game Monday in New Orleans. Vince Vaughn was seen chatting and laughing with the president as Melania sat between them before the pair shook hands, and Trump appeared to point to the star's lanyard, according to a 31-second clip uploaded to Twitter. The video was uploaded by former Deadspin employee Timothy Burke, who captioned it, quote, "I'm very sorry to have to share this video with you, all of it, every part of it." The social media reaction was swift and called for Vince Vaughn to be canceled. It's not the first time a celebrity faced social media backlash for their decision to interact with a Republican. Ellen faced a backlash when a video emerged of her sitting with ex-President Bush during a Cowboys game. And now Vince Vaughn is under it. What do they mean Vince Vaughn is canceled? I don't even know what that means. You know, this is such an interesting thing that's going on here with Vince Vaughn, because this backlash against Vince Vaughn that is taking place just started, and it's really heating up. And Vince Vaughn, he's a very, very good actor. I like Vince Vaughn. I think he's a great actor. I like him. I know not everyone likes him, you know, but I like Vince Vaughn a lot. I think he's very good. I've seen him in a lot of things. He was in this HBO crime series a couple seasons ago, and he was just excellent in it. And I've never seen him in a TV series before. Wedding Crashers, yeah, that was his breakout role. Well, I guess Swingers was his breakout. That was probably his big break, was Swingers. He's a very good actor, very good actor. And now, what's happening? He's being put on a blacklist by the left. You know, it's absolutely amazing. My whole life, I heard about McCarthyism and the blacklist. They made movies about it. You know, Robert De Niro made a movie playing a director about the blacklist. And remember all these things, the blacklist, and people couldn't work because they just went to some political meeting. And what does that have to do with their acting ability, their artists? What does that got to do with it? And now there's this new blacklist that's being put out there by the left. And look at what happened with Ellen. You know, poor Ellen. I'm a big fan of Ellen DeGeneres. I always have been a fan, even before she came out. I was always a fan of Ellen, back when she was just doing stand-up. She's very funny, very talented, you know. She made a movie where she called Mr. Wrong, where she played a woman looking for a husband. And the movie poster was Ellen in a wedding dress, and she was not out of the closet yet. But come on, everybody knew she was gay, and I thought for Ellen, every man was Mr. Wrong. I thought it was a funny title, but Ellen had to apologize for sitting next to President Bush. She apologized on the air, and now Vince, because she was being put on a blacklist. Vince Vaughn, it's a similar thing about to happen with him, and you see this with celebrities from time to time. You know, the tolerant left, we understand what the tolerant left are so tolerant, they can't tolerate anybody who disagrees with them. You know, he's sitting there talking to the president and first lady of the United States. He's not backing the president on the Muslim ban or the wall. I mean, maybe he supports those things. I don't know. You know, but Vince Vaughn is not at a political rally taking a political position. He's talking to the president and first lady of the United States at a football game. I mean, come on, you know. I mean, I could see if he was out there taking a controversial political position, because you know when liberal actors take political positions that are controversial, they're called out all the time by conservatives, and that's fair game. But Vince Vaughn isn't. He's just guilt by association. Guilt by association. See, if you've noticed, whether it's the FISA abuse, the impeachment scam, or this guilt by association with Vince Vaughn, what the liberals have been doing is changing the American system of justice. And now here they are on Twitter trying to make Vince Vaughn unhireable and trying to put him out of work because of an association at a football game with the President of the United States. Not getting involved in politics, not taking a political position, but just sitting with the President of the United States. I mean, we're in an era here that we have never, ever been in before. And you know what? It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because the Democrats are losing. And what I've come to realize with Democrats is that they are complete control freaks. They want to control everything, whether it's Bloomberg wanting to control the size of your Big Gulp and your Coke, or this. And for leftists to look at a Hollywood actor, I don't know if he's still A-list or not, but to look at a Hollywood actor like Vince Vaughn and say because he associated with the First Lady and President of the United States, he shouldn't be able to work. Again, are they not familiar with the Hollywood blacklist, or is the new blacklist okay? You know, when it comes to the left, nothing will ever surprise me. Okay, do we got that set? Yes, we got that set. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this new computer system we have here. I don't know. We'll find out. See, everything's backwards now. Everything is backwards. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, 35 minutes after 7. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Furniture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again plan and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants. Get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans. This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around because of his extraordinary skills and his caring.
Is this my only site? Well, this is the only place I'm live streaming right now.
Facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com.
Well, they're all welcome, Linda.
Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right. Yes, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Join Steve Kane and me on the 28th, Tuesday of this month, with attorney Barry Siegel. Barry Siegel having 2 workshops coming up on Tuesday, the 28th. The first, of course, is at 10 o'clock. That's the Medicaid planning workshop. And the second one at 2 in the afternoon is the Revocable Living Trust Workshop. I'll be at the 2 o'clock. Steve will be at the 10. These are both free. You'll get lots of great information. They're located at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca Raton, which is immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road. You'll get lots of great information about Revocable Living Trust, about long-term planning, and also you get to ask questions of the attorney for free, which is amazing too, right, just in itself. It's completely free, but Barry Siegel does ask that you call to make a reservation so that he knows how many people are coming. So please call just to let them know you're coming. Toll free, 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782, 855-352-3782. All right, let's go to the phones. Greg, too, you're on the radio.
Hey,
Steve
good
Kane
morning,
Show.
Brian. Listen, what is your job description, right?
Yeah.
You're the host, technical expert, the call answerer. I mean, you're a multitasker.
I know, I am. Well, I tell you, thank the Lord we're in a right-to-work state, because I do about 6 union jobs. If we were in New York or California, we wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't want to, I could hear you today. You're like all over the place as we go.
Oh, it's crazy. Well, I hope, you know what? Well, what happened yesterday, for people that are just tuning in, we weren't on the air yesterday because when I came in yesterday morning, our computer system crashed. So we had to get a new computer, and I spent yesterday, and I got here at 4 a.m. to get the new computer system set up. The problem is it's in Windows 10, which I've never used before, and Windows 10 is very confusing to me, and I'm having a lot of problems because of that. But anyway, there's bigger fish to fry than my frustrations.
But as far as Vince Vaughn, I love Vince Vaughn. Wedding Crashers is one of the funniest movies ever made. I love that movie. And
Wedding Crashers?
Like I said, Guilt by Association. Right, if you're even seeing with Trump, like Tiger Woods was, they play golf together, you're all of a sudden now scrutinized.
I mean, think about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods can screw around with women all over town while he's married. That's okay. but plays a round of golf with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and all of a sudden he's in big trouble.
Right, right. And you know what? This is what I think. I think Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, which I have mixed emotions about both of them. I don't know if they're true Trump supporters, but I think I don't know. I'm confused by that. But they should have a press conference. Bring those articles of impeachment today. We want to have the vote. You know, go on the White House steps with Donald Trump. Say, bring them on. We're going to have the trial, and let's get it over with. You know, because this is like a dark cloud. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I don't think it's a dark cloud. You know. Well, I think it's what I was talking about earlier, is Nancy knows that they got nothing, and they're trying to maintain some sense of control. And while they have not transmitted it over, there's some sense of control. And as soon as it goes to McConnell, they're out of control. Are you on a racetrack? Oh, okay. Where are you walking? On I-95 or the Turnpike?
They would, right. They have this little sense of control. But if Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, what do you think of both those two, by the way? I mean, what do you think of those two guys?
Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, he's, like Prince Harry is looking for a strong female figure to push him around. Lindsey Graham's always looking for a strong male figure. It used to be John McCain. Now it's Donald Trump. And Mitch McConnell, I don't trust Mitch McConnell. His wife is from one of the most prominent families in all of China, and he's gotten millions of dollars. Schweitzer has a new book out about Biden. Well, in Peter Schweitzer's last book, he talked, I think it was $15 million that Mitch McConnell was given by his Chinese family. I don't trust Mitch McConnell any more than I trust Nancy Pelosi. Honestly, I don't. Very big conflict of, and I wasn't happy. Yeah. Yeah.
I just wish they need to call Nancy Pelosi out, even invite her to the press conference and say, let's get this impeachment articles filed, let's get the trial. And
how do I do that, though, Robert?
And you know what?
How do I do that?
Like you said, they have a little ounce of power because it's looming out there. But we know Donald Trump's not going to be impeached. We know the Senate is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have like a little, it's almost like blackmail what they're doing to Donald Trump. And it's time to get this over with. I wish they'd have a press conference.
Well, President Trump is by the way, I'm just going to let you go because of the sound back there, but I appreciate the call. Greg, too, walking on his morning walk on the Florida Turnpike, apparently. Donald Trump is a scandal-free person. And what has been happening with him from day one, since it came down the escalator, is the establishment are trying to create the illusion of scandal where there is none, whether it was Stormy Daniels or the Alicia Machado, Miss Universe, the Access Hollywood, or the latest one is the Ukrainian phone call with impeachment. All right, let's go to Richie. Richie, the bus driver. Good morning.
Yeah, it's called sour grapes with the Democrats. He wasn't impeached by Congress, by the way. That's a talking point. He was impeached by Democrats because not one Republican impeached him, and they're in Congress, too. That's one thing. Did you watch the game last night?
No. Are you kidding?
It is the greatest opening, the national anthem.
Oh, I did see that. Of course I saw that, where the president was cheered with the first lady. Of course I saw that.
They can't filter that. The whole place was going nuts for the president, screaming out, USA, USA. I thought it was a Trump.
Well, you're right. And I'll tell you what's interesting about that is that they chant USA, not Trump. Okay, he's at back in the Obama days, it was Obama, which is like idol worship of an individual. And when they chant USA, just like at the rallies, it's pretty powerful. It's a love of country. Yeah.
And I was so proud to watch that because they couldn't filter that, and that is the American people.
They're trying to excuse it away. And what they're trying to say is that the mics where you heard the cheering were from a far-off place on a side over there at the stadium, not where the president was. They're trying to discount it. Well, of course it picked up where the mics are, but it seemed to be in the whole place to me.
Yeah, he was supposed surprised. They didn't expect him there.
Well, which it's a very unpredictable thing for him to walk out there like that, because what happened, it was great, but it could go the other way just as easily. And what happens in an arena, because I watched the audio, it's kind of like a wave factor. It started somewhere and then spread to the whole stadium. So what they're trying to say is it wasn't an immediate burst. It was something far away. Well, so's the wave. No one says, oh, that wave didn't really happen. It started way over there on the side. That's what they're trying to do.
They can't. Reality just set in. I'm sure every liberal watching that last night got sick to their stomach. And I got to say one thing to you, okay? Once you get off the air today and later on today, Elder John called you. I wanted to call before he called. I hope he's still listening. Mark Levin last night, I don't know what website, but he pulled up his sweet candidate, Bernie Sanders, with all his communist remarks about how he loves all these commies out of Bernie's mouth. Pure communist. I mean, Nicaragua, Cuba, Russia, all of them. You got to hear this because he's on, and it comes on at the beginning of the show, 9:12,
yeah.
This afternoon. So I hope that he listens to that and gets this.
Well, here's the thing about I've heard those things of Bernie. Have you seen the video of him at the party in the Soviet Union with his shirt off drinking vodka? I mean, my goodness, it was. Well, but you know what? But this is what you don't get, though, Richie. He's not really a communist. He's made his living being one, but now he's a multimillionaire. But when you go around calling him a communist, that helps him. That firms up his base. That's what they want to hear.
Said about Cuba? Cuba, he was a great transformer, Castro, and he changed the educational system.
Well, so you know what? Michael Moore made a film about that, where he went to Cuba, about their medical system down there, and he was praised by the left. While these things are true, these are things that the liberal base are openly supporting today. It doesn't hurt them.
That is going to revolt, and it's going to be the biggest landslide in the history of elections.
Mm-hmm. All right, Richie, appreciate the call. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Doc.
Oh, hey, Dr. Matez. Here we are. You know, I was talking about you earlier. I've been up since 1:30 in the morning. I had to come to work early, because... Yeah, and I got to tell you, hormone replacement pellet therapy is absolutely amazing. Here I had about 2.5, 3 hours sleep. Here I'm in the second hour almost of broadcasting. Been here at work since 4 a.m., been up since 1:30, and I'm not at one bit tired. I'm ready to go for the day.
You said pretty good to me, and I want to come to your defense, Brian, because you were accused of having a senior moment yesterday. I heard yesterday, and I knew you weren't having any senior moments because you're a client at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management.
That's right. There are no senior moments.
We have short-term fixes for senior moments. If you're having cognitive issues, we have intravenous treatments that will get your cognition back. NAD, by the way, folks. It's good stuff. We have long-term treatments. We have HRT like we're talking about. Not only does that get your cognition back to snuff, it gets everything else going, your energy, libido, etc. We're a full-service age management practice. We offer the full gamut of anti-aging services, including cutting-edge technologies, the newest and latest of folks, peptide therapies, other therapies that will improve your cell health. Remember, it all starts with your cells, folks. Healthy cells means healthy tissue, means healthy organs, means healthy people.
That's right. That's right. Maybe that could be a tagline on a commercial. Say goodbye to those senior moments. Call Dr. Mitch Matez.
Yeah, all you have to do is remember to call us.
That's right. But, let me tell you, though, about the hormone replacement pellet therapy, because people hear us talk about it all the time, and it does everything we say and even more. And the cognition issue is amazing. I mean, even me, I'm not a senior citizen, but hormone replacement pellet therapy, it's like when I had LASIK vision correction, and I could see for the first time without glasses or contacts, and I saw the world in a whole new way. That's how it is with hormone replacement pellet therapy. And, the way you're feeling, men and women, you don't have to feel that way. have energy, have your sex drive back, reverse menopause. And men, it's called andropause. It's the male version of menopause. Reverse all of those things. Have your sex drive back, have your energy back, get your cognition back. And it's a free consultation with Dr. Matez. And don't worry, you know, if you're having a senior moment, you can't remember this number, just go to stevekaneshow.com. It's listed there. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490, and online hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com. All right, Dr. Matez, we'll talk later in the week.
We certainly will, Brian. Have a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, man, I tell you. It's, well, you know, hormone replacement pill. I heard Steve talking about it for many years, and it wasn't until I started using it that I understood what it was truly all about. Now, this was a little shocking to me today because I didn't think this would be the person doing this. Abby Huntsman is leaving The View. She announced it yesterday. I thought it would be Meghan McCain leaving The View first, but it's actually Abby Huntsman. There was an article in Page 6. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, this Page 6 article. Abby Huntsman, who's, you know, she's one of these political dynasties that's going on out there. She's left, and the reason she left is not any of the reasons she's stating, okay? You know, Abby Huntsman is out there saying that she left because she's going to work on her father's campaign for governor of Utah, you know? And her father is another one of these guys that has to always hold some type of political office, and if they don't hold office, they feel like they're a big nothing. But Abby Huntsman apparently had been going to human resources and talking about the toxic work environment, not just with the on-air people, but the off-air people as well. And, you know, Abby Huntsman, her father, it's not just that he's Republican. Her father worked for Trump. He was the ambassador to Russia for President Trump. He's been ambassador to China in the past, too. And because of that Trump connection, that's probably why she was dealing with such terrible things. Page 6, listen to this. Abby Huntsman announced on Monday she's quitting The View to join her father, John Huntsman, on his gubernatorial campaign in Utah. But Page 6 is told, and if Page 6 reports it, you can take it to the bank. Page 6 is told that the campaign isn't the real reason for her exit, which has recently been rocked by a breakdown in her relationship with Meghan McCain and her fellow panelist. It's an unhealthy environment, just the way that things are handled during shows and how people deal with each other, said an insider familiar with Abby Huntsman's thinking. They described it as intense. Abby made an issue to executives about the overall work environment. She has felt for a while that things had to change. ABC treated Abby Huntsman like S, says the insider, but everyone on the show gets treated like S, they added. She was smart enough to do something about it. The source said that co-host Whoopi Goldberg has complained about the atmosphere on set as well. A second source said Abby Huntsman has described the environment as, quote, toxic, and ABC will not do anything about it. Page 6 says that we're told Huntsman, who joined the show about a year ago at the same time as Meghan McCain, made the decision to quit in December, but the move Monday was a bombshell. In a memo seen by Page 6 that she sent the show's staff, Abby Huntsman wrote in the memo, quote, after much deliberation over the holidays, I have decided to leave the show to dedicate myself to my dad in his run for governor, blah, blah, blah. Abby spoke to each co-host to share the news, spoke directly to the staff to let them know. And they're saying in Page 6, tensions are really high now because of Meghan McCain. You know, this is the most toxic television ever. And The View was actually about to be canceled a couple years back because ratings were very low. And do you know why The View was not canceled? Do you know the exact reason The View was not canceled? Donald Trump. When Donald Trump came down the escalator, the ratings all of a sudden went up when they were talking about Trump during that chat segment. And I wonder, you know, they do the first segment is the chat section, and then they bring the guest on later. I would like to know what the ratings are between the chat segment when they're talking politics and the guest, the celebrity guest. And I bet you the ratings are high when they're talking about Trump. But, you know, Abby Huntsman with the toxic work environment. Here's the thing with Abby Huntsman. She's a lot like Meghan McCain. She just is a little more polished. She is Mormon royalty, right? Her father has been governor of Utah before. He's running again. Her father is one of the most senior Mormons in the entire Mormon church. She's treated like a princess. She is never told no. She doesn't have a worry in the world. And for the first time in her life, she's dealing with opposition. And as an entitlement baby who's never worked for anything in her life and is from a very well-connected family, she cannot handle conflict. Okay, she can't handle not being treated like a princess. She cannot handle not being treated like she feels she's deserved to be treated. And I think what you would find with Abby Huntsman, if you really got into it, is that what she's working with over there is just a typical television work environment. But, you know, to leave The View, because I've heard the ladies of The View talk about The View, it is the easiest gig in TV. Okay? They show up right before showtime, and they leave right after. Everything's done for them. They're given the questions. They just have to sit down and leave. That's all they do. And they only work 4 days a week. Let's say they work about 8 hours a week. On Thursday, they record the Friday show. They do live Monday through Thursday, and then Thursday they typically tape Friday's show. So they work about 8 hours a week. They work less than firefighters, okay? And they make a lot of money. And it's on network television because it's ABC News. So to walk away from an 8-hour-a-week job making that kind of money, you know, that I could put up with a lot. And most people could because you live in the real world, you know, and you just can't walk away from your job. You go to work, you know, you got to deal with clients. You got to deal with customers. You've got to deal with your boss and coworkers, and if it's a toxic work environment, you just suck it up because that's what you got to do. But Abby Huntsman is a trust fund baby. She's connected, she's spoiled, and she can walk, and she'll be just as rich tomorrow as she was yesterday. It doesn't matter, you know. And she'll have other opportunities handed to her. She doesn't have to work for anything, so she's not living in the real world. I'm not sympathetic to Abby Huntsman. And another reason I'm not sympathetic to Abby Huntsman is she's a never Trumper, and I really don't care at all for never Trumpers. You all know that. But, you know, unlike Abby Huntsman, most of you out there are not wealthy people, and you are always looking for ways to try to save some money. And that's what we're doing around here on the Steve Kane Show with you guys all of the time. And I'm going to give you a great way to save some money, and that is have Debbie and I will advisors review your homeowner's insurance policy. Your homeowner's insurance goes up each and every year. I review my policy every year. So does Steve Kane, and you should too. It goes up every year, and it costs you nothing to do this. Debbie and I will advisors will review your policy. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, she can help you. If you're local, she'll come to you. If you can't go to her, I promise you're paying too much. You know, you may be paying for coverage you don't need. You actually may be able to increase your coverage and still pay less. She's an expert at this. She has an entire team that just work on homeowners insurance policies. It has different names, property and casualty, you know. And this goes for commercial property owners too. And this was a secret I've known about for many, many years, reviewing your homeowner's insurance policy. And I save every year because it does go up. And I make sure that I have very good insurance because we're in Hurricane Alley here in South Florida. But even though we're in Hurricane Alley, there's no need to overpay for your homeowner's insurance. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. If you're an overnight listener, call in the middle of the night and leave a message. She will call you back during the day. Her number, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Also, have her review your auto insurance. This is something I did not know. I know a lot, but I didn't know this. Had some relatives moved to Florida from out of state, Minnesota. And they were telling me that auto insurance is skyrocket high prices in Florida compared to Minnesota. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know this. Debbie can also review your auto insurance, and you're probably paying too much for that too. And again, it costs you nothing. Have Debbie review your homeowner's policy. Have Debbie review your auto insurance policy. She will save you money. One more time, that number, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. All right, third and final hour begins right now.
96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer.
Oh yeah, I got this thing on AOC. I gotta play. This is great.
Also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices
Be right back, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Be right back.
Don't worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem.
Unbelievable. That one was my fault. Okay, that technical snafu was my fault, people. That was my fault. See, this new program, there's something you can't do with it that I thought you could do. Okay, we'll do that. Welcome back. Third and final hour has begun. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I've almost gotten through it. There's only 56 minutes left. It's the Windows 10 that has me messed up, guys. Because, you know, those of you out there, I'm an Apple person. I had to get this Windows computer, and it came with Windows 10. And Windows 10, I don't know what Windows 10 is all about, but it is very confusing to me. Hold on, where is it? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Where are the commercials? There they are. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. It'll probably take me about 4 days, which is Friday. All right, it'll take a whole week before I get used to this new computer system because I learned right then and there something not to do. It's just shut down the whole program right in the middle of the break. Welcome back, everyone. Third and final hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show. And we're on train wreck mode this morning, if you haven't noticed. The Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977. Oh, my goodness. That was terrible. Okay. I'll play that commercial over during the break at the quarter after mark. It happened. Hey, this is live radio, people. This is live radio. Let you guys come in here and do a show all by yourself. See how well it goes. You know, there's a story today. I saw this on National Public Radio. Okay, listen to this. Space Force Bible blessing at National Cathedral sparks outrage. And there's a whole story about how the Bible blessing at the National Cathedral for the official Bible of Space Force has caused this controversy with all the Christian haters out there. You know, to me, the story isn't that there's a controversy over the Bible blessing, that there's a Space Force, right? That there's an actual Space Force. It's happened. It's a campaign promise that has been kept. In fact, if you go online and you search Space Force, there are people that are in charge of Space Force. There's a secretary, there's generals. There is a real United States Space Force. And I don't think people really realize that. I think they believe it's just kind of like a joke. No, Space Force does exist now. And I know people laugh at the name. Well, you know what? Air Force might have seemed funny a long time ago. But yeah, so it says here, this is NPR. The blessing of what's being called the official Bible for the new U.S. Space Force at the Washington National Cathedral on Sunday is drawing an outpouring of criticism on social media and condemnation from a prominent religious freedom advocacy group. Well, it sounds like one of those religious freedom groups that doesn't support freedom of religion. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation condemns in a full-throated manner the shocking and repulsive display of only the most vile fundamentalist Christian supremacy, they say, and that's the blessing of who cares what they think. But I'll tell you this, Space Force is real, right? And they had the official Bible swearing in of Space Force, which I think is spectacular. NPR is pretty bad, yeah. NPR is pretty left-wing. You know, NPR is on more radio stations than Rush Limbaugh nationwide. They really are. And they've got a huge reach. They have a lot of influence, more than you realize. And I listen to NPR quite a bit. You should too. You're paying for it, you know. And you're paying a lot of money for it. And it's not just through, you know what the most snobbish form of liberal you will ever meet is someone who donates money to National Public Radio or public television, right? Those are the most snobby liberals you'll ever come across. Now, AOC was caught on the Capitol steps over the weekend. And I feel sorry for AOC because AOC is really kind of traumatized, you know, because she is, you know, a lot of politicians just say things. She's a true believer. She's a true believer. And she got caught on the Capitol steps talking about the fears of her generation. I'll play some of it. We'll talk about it. I do miss those Instagram Lives she used. Did you guys ever see the Instagram Live video that AOC did when she was drinking wine, buzzed, and trying to put together IKEA furniture at her new apartment in Washington, D.C.? That was the best. While she's talking to the chat room, oh, it was the best. I mean, it was hilarious. And the longer it went on, the more intoxicated she became, and she was getting really buzzed. And putting together IKEA furniture when you're sober is difficult. But anyway, a guy with a cell phone caught AOC on the Capitol steps and started talking to her about climate change. And here it is, AOC.
You're kind of the mother of the Green New Deal and what's going on right now. The situation in Australia right now, what are your thoughts on everything going on there?
Oh, I mean, it's horrifying, and I think it shows just how bad things can get. Once you have our environment that gets dry enough to a point, hot enough to a point, fires that would have started even as a typical wildfire season fire, now start to kind of add on to all of these compounding effects.
You and Greta Thunberg, two
Now listen to this.
really young people taking a lead. What do you guys get about it being young and the old people are getting right now?
I mean, this is our future, because I think for us the stakes are so high. I'm going to live in a world that is fundamentally altered by climate change. So is Greta, so is every young person. You know, if you are pretty much under the... First of all, we're seeing it now. Like, we're living through this right now. We're experiencing it right now. But especially if you're under 50 years old, 40, 30, 20, the younger you are, the more of our lives and our futures are going to be impacted by this. And
Okay, now before I finish this, the reason I play this is AOC on the Capitol steps. A guy on a cell phone starts talking to her about global warming, and she goes on this long thing. So if you ever run into AOC, start talking to her about climate change. You'll have a long conversation with her in a viral video. Before I play the rest, because she says something at the end, which is really sad for her, there's a new theme with millennials that are politically active, that their opinions are more valid than people that are older than the millennials. And you see this with liberals today, liberal activists, in particular millennial activists, in almost every sphere when they're talking about politics. Why does she think her opinion is more valid than mine? You hear her talk about it there. Because I'm going to be dead first, is what they're saying. Because they're younger, they're going to be on the earth longer, so their opinions are more valid because we are going to be dead before them, and they got to experience things longer. And if you hear what she says, she goes back in time in reverse and talks about young people of today that are like 10 and 12 and 16 and 8, that their opinions are even more valid than hers because they're going to be suffering even longer than she is. It's this very bizarre thing. And I'll tell you another thing about it. We're talking about earlier, the blacklisting of Vince Vaughn. They're attempting this new Hollywood blacklist. You were pleasant to President Trump and the First Lady. You should not be able to work again in Hollywood. The new blacklist. There's a similar thing going on with the left with ageism. And if you're over the age of 50, they think your time has come to shut up and let the youth run things. And you hear this with all of them. And this is new. And I'll tell you what's new. Obviously, young people always think they're wiser. That's why, movies like Home Alone are successful because you know why Home Alone's successful? I mean, it was funny and I'm sure it was well written. I haven't seen it since it came out. But movies like Home Alone are successful because kids love movies where the children are outwitting the adults. So there's always been a thing of youth where they think that they're smarter than the adults and they can outwit them. But now we have these children in government, like AOC. But anyway, let me go back a little because she says something at the end which is strange and sad.
Tony, the younger you are, the more of our lives and our futures are going to be impacted by this. And, even people my age are stressed and have anxiety about having kids. Okay,
now before I finish this, now this is another thing. The left are doing this. The left have from the millennials and younger, and I think a millennial is about 35 today, okay? What they're doing to those that are 35 and under is having them terrified in a constant anxiety state about the climate. Let me finish this with her because she's going to talk about what they're not doing because of their fear. And of course, they have the solutions. And, we have millions of young Americans who are living in a constant state of fear and anxiety because the media and the Democrats are putting them there to bend to their will. But listen to what she says here at the end, AOC.
Well, even people my age are stressed and have anxiety about having kids, just because we want to make sure that we're bringing our kids into a healthy world, into a stable future. And we shouldn't ever have to be anxious about that. We need to be advocating for a safe future for all of us.
All right, what's your message to the president? Does the president need to do some step up here?
He needs to get his act together. He needs to stand up to the fossil fuel corporations and the fossil fuel industry. He needs to stand up to big oil, to big gas, but...
And stand up to big oil, big there the fossil fuel industry, and I think she got into a vehicle and drove back home. I'm assuming she didn't walk back to her apartment. There is, if you notice, there's been a lot of talk about this, is the childbearing age women of today are having children in lower numbers than in generations. It's because of this climate change. They have a generation of AOCs out there that are afraid to bring children into the world because they don't want to bring children into a world that is not able to support life. Now, I had a story last week on the show and if you noticed, you haven't heard in a couple of days about the Australian fires, have you? And I told you about this last week. Last week there were photographs from space of Australia completely red and orange and on fire. And they even at the Golden Globes, they were talking about how climate change has caused the fires. They've arrested 178 people for arson in Australia. And many of them are high school kids. And what's going on in Australia, almost every fire out there has been caused not by climate change, but by arson. And the media were running with this story all last week, and then through social media, the stories out of the local news in Australia started making their way to Twitter. And the local news was reporting this arsonist arrested, these teenagers arrested for arson, and it was 178 arsonists have been arrested. The number may be even higher today. And they've been talking about in Australia that, in Australia, there's a lot of wilderness. So you got a lot of hicks out there, and these kids, they're out of school with nothing to do in the outback, and school was out, and they were bored over the school break, Christmas and all, and started setting fires. And if you've noticed, the climate change in Australia stories completely disappeared from the narrative. We're going to take our break. When we get back, Steve's here. Lots to talk about, lots going on as we attempt on this very technical snafu day on the show to get through it. We'll be right back.
From excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical...
You haven't seen the stories about Australia? They're saying that these are wildfires started by arsonists throughout the country.
Before they had the surgery. A second study
Kids
from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski.
Well, I got another spot to play.
Chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away, well, if you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Are you looking to sell your house?
It's working, but
or
it's...
dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to give you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal.
You gave me one of the charge forms that's filled out.
In real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market.
I'll tell you.
It's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home. LaBella Real Estate can
Got a bunch of blank paper.
or selling. Call LaBella Real Estate.
I take the blank paper.
561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Rough day.
Yeah.
Rough day.
Oh, you're listening to that spot for my chiropractor, Dr. Troy Lemaski.
Yes.
I have two Lemaski doctors, one working on my body, one working on my psyche. I guess eventually we'll get it all straightened out. It's a good thing to have a great chiropractor to fall back on. I've been having a problem with my knees lately.
Mm-hmm.
So go on over to see Dr. Troy after the show, and it's
Steve King Show.
Park Boulevard and US 1 is where his office is located.
Yeah. It's just his Dr. Troy. We call him Dr. Troy so you don't get confused with the two Dr. Lemaskis. But Dr. Lemaski, he's in Fort Lauderdale, just east of US 1 on the south side of Oakland Park Boulevard. Yeah.
Well, be today.
I used to spend so much time there when I was in my early 20s. There were about 3 huge nightclubs that were located like right across the street from where he's at, and I wasn't sober too much, but I spent a lot of time in that area. And the bars are gone now. Yeah, well, it brought back some flashbacks when we went over there. Oh, look who we have on the line, Steve. We're just a couple weeks away. We have attorney Barry Siegel, our estate planning attorney, and we're just a couple weeks away from these incredible workshops of his. Hey, Barry.
Barry, how are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Excellent. Getting all ready for our workshop coming up. It's, I guess, next week, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's actually 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from this morning, we'll be holding our Medicaid workshop, Medicaid planning. It's really a must for anybody who doesn't have long-term care or concerned they don't have enough long-term care insurance for them or their spouse, because as we age, the possibilities of needing care, either at home or in a facility, increase, of course, and with our life expectancies being much longer than they were a generation or two ago, there's a very good chance that you or your spouse could, unfortunately, need care, and that care is very expensive. So there needs to be a plan. How are we going to pay for this? Because the last thing we want to do is get into our senior years, be on a fixed income, have our nest egg that we're trying to preserve, and then have one of these expenses, not just an expense, it's not just replacing an air conditioning system or getting a car repaired. This is long-term care, long-term costs that you have to pay to either a home care company or a nursing home, and it is expensive. And so you need to have a plan. How are we going to pay for this? If you don't have long-term care insurance, you have two options: either spending out of your own pocket, that means spending down everything that you have left potentially, or finding a way to have the government help you out on that. And that's what we're going to be talking about. And that's two Tuesdays from now, January 28th at 10 a.m. at the Boca Raton Courtyard Marriott, right off of I-95 and Glades Road. And then in the afternoon, we're going to cover everything you need to know. All the things that, some things you may know and some things you may not know. One of the things we talk about is you don't know what you don't know. And those are some of the things you're going to learn when you come to the 2 o'clock in the afternoon workshop on living trust. Everything you need to know about avoiding probate, protecting your loved ones, protecting their inheritance, making sure that they don't lose it if they get sued or if they get divorced. And also, if you have a young family, how to make sure you protect yourself by making decisions, who would take over as guardians for your minor children. All these things are going to be discussed and touched on. Special needs trust, powers of attorney, healthcare documents. So please make your reservation. My understanding is that these are getting filled up.
All right, well, let me give you the number where you can call ahead and make sure there is a seat reserved for you. The toll-free number 1-855-FLA, as in Florida, 3782. One more time, 1-855-FLA, 3782. Barry, good talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you at that seminar. All right?
All right. Thank you.
You take care, my friend. Absolutely.
2 weeks from today.
We are back. By the way, this is something that kind of came up at the last minute. I was over at Wings Plus. Great. Just everything. Not only the wings have expanded out now. They have a hamburger that is just to die.
Well, the hamburgers they're famous over there because they're huge.
Yeah, they're half.
I don't know how they make money over there. The prices are so low, the portions are so large.
But anyway, I was over there and I was talking to our
Brian.
Brian.
Not me. The owner. Yeah, the other Brian.
The other Brian. And we haven't had a get together, the Steve Kane Donald Trump Club, for a long time, and we're going to do it. It's very spontaneous. We're just throwing it together here. Make note if you are a Trumpite. They've got all the hats and all the the accoutrements that if you're a Donald Trump man is part of your wardrobe. And now the only thing I'm not sure is the night that the State of the Union is. The 4th, is it?
I think it's on February 4th is the State of the Union, yeah.
Well, keep an eye on that. If you want to see Brian, come early because he leaves early. And I will be there throughout the State of the Union address. And it's going to be great. We've got to start getting the spirit up for our favorite President, Donald Trump.
Pelosi over the weekend, she was, she's, listen to that. Listen to her tone, and you know, if you see this video, what I can't show you on the radio is the visual. Her lips were quivering when she said this. Listen to this.
But again, it's Sunday morning. Let's be optimistic about the future, a future that will not have Donald Trump in the White House. One way or another, 10 months from now, we will have an election if we don't have him removed sooner. But again, he will be impeached forever.
He will be impeached forever. Yeah, he'll be impeached forever, and she'll be forever. If you know what I was, you know, the fill in the blank there. What a nasty! He'll be impeached forever.
Well, this is turning into a disaster for her. So.
Well, she lost her momentum. If she would have sent it over when they took the vote, as opposed to holding on for a month.
She was in trouble. There was no there.
She's gonna look. She looks dumber now because she held on to it too long.
Yeah, it didn't help. It just helped draw attention to it.
I hope when she sends it over to the Senate, I hope she does it, and that the same day they dismiss it. If I were McConnell, I would dismiss it the first day. Boom, done.
Could happen, but again, it gets more complex the longer it goes.
Well, that's the government. Why? Why?
Well, it gets more complex, but at the root of it is because there are a lot of the support that Don has, or a sizable part of the support that President Trump has, are these Republicans that are, you know, would stab him in the back, given half a chance.
Yeah, but they can't publicly do that.
Well,
the never Trumpers.
It depends how it plays out. Depends how the votes.
If Mitch McConnell did a vote and a dismissal on the same day, that would send such a powerful message of defeat to the Democrats.
Well,
what are they supposed to do? Drag it out? Why? Why drag it out? There's no need to have witnesses. We've heard all the testimony from everybody.
Because they're already got the stage set that unless there are witnesses, it's a cover-up.
Yeah. We had a lot of witnesses. That's what the other hearing. Well, okay, let's have the whistleblower and Hunter Biden come.
Well,
let's do that.
Oh
no, not that. Yeah.
They're not interested in those witnesses.
You know, they have the thing with the Democrats and the media, okay, is they always have a scheme going on that if only this one thing happens, then the Trump people will wake up and he'll be exposed. And they have this new thing going on now that if John Bolton is allowed to testify, it'll all be over. And they have this this meme circulating online of John Bolton with tape over his mouth. And John Bolton knows everything. He wants to talk. It has nothing to do with it. He has a book out that he wants to peddle. But he wants to talk, but executive privilege, he can't talk, and he wants to spill his guts, and he knows all the dirt, and he has it, and he's ready to tell it, and he's disgusted by Trump. He's not. Let me tell you something. I don't expect Bolton is a big fan of Trump right now because he fired him. But
well, I don't know. I'll tell you what,
he's not going to trash him.
But on the other hand, in terms of foreign policy, Bolton is starting, I'm sure appreciates the harder line that Trump is starting to take with foreign policy.
He is not.
That's what Bolton, that's what
their
split has been about.
John Bolton isn't going to have a negative word to say about President Trump. This is just, it was like, I remember when Mueller was going to test, the Mueller report came out and everyone was like, this is it. And then they said, yes, but Mueller's going to testify. And when you hear the author speak the report with his own, and then he didn't know what month it was. He thought George Bush was still president. I mean, he was, and they've always got, if only this thing, and then they'll wake up and they'll stop supporting Trump. You know, listen, the Democrats have a big problem. They have a debate tonight. Let me play this clip. I played this in the first hour. This is,
what time is the debate?
I don't know. It's late, but this is MSNBC, and they're concerned about tonight's debate. Tonight is the Democrat debate, and if you don't know, Cory Booker's dropped out. The big question with Cory Booker is...
He played the race card and lost.
No, the question with Cory Booker is, will he and his girlfriend break up? Was the girlfriend just a election... I don't know, but since Cory Booker has dropped out, there's a lot of concern at MSNBC about the optics of tonight's debate. Listen.
You really have one African-American contender left, that's Vaughn Patrick, and then you have Andrew Yang, both of which have not qualified for the next debate. So next debate at this point is going to be an overwhelmingly white debate, all-white debate, and there are a lot of Democrats that are wondering if the Democrats are going to continue to rely on African-American voters, and specifically African-American women, for their loyalty. How...
Okay, and it goes on. I mean, she's
the Democrats are so messed up.
Well... Well, tonight's debate, Democrats, they're very tonight's debate is going to be all white. There is not one candidate of color who is going to be on the stage. And yeah.
As they all appeal for the black vote that they think is going to carry them to the presidency.
Well, it's hard to appeal to the black vote when you have forced the candidates of color out of the race. There's one African American still in the race, and he doesn't qualify to be in the debate. So it's an all-white debate tonight. And, the Democrats, back to their segregationist past, I guess.
Back to their roots.
Well, yeah. And this has nothing to do with Trump or Trump supporters. The Democrats have decided that they don't want candidates of color, apparently, because they don't have any.
You want to take some of these calls? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Kane, spelled K-A-N-E. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Put in your 2 cents.
Yeah.
You want to take this?
Well, yeah, absolutely I do, because it's Janet Cimarelli from Save A Lot, and I got to tell you something here. When you and I, we went over to Save A Lot about 2 weeks ago, and both of us replenished our supplements, and I started my my cholesterol reducing supplement, and Al Foreman over there turned me on to a new cholesterol reducing supplement that I've never tried before, and it has just worked. My cholesterol in the last 2 weeks, Steve, has dropped by huge numbers. Hey, Janet.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, dear.
I'm so happy you had such a fabulous visit at Save A Lot. I'll be at Save A Lot today from 12 to 5, so any of your listeners have any questions for their health and wellness, come on in. 12 to 5 at Save A Lot. I'm gonna talk about kind of subject this morning that people might go, oh, what is she talking about? Okay, so how many people got up to use the restroom last night? And then how many people couldn't go back to sleep because they were up and down, up and down, up and down all night long? Well, Terry Naturally, it's a brand of supplements, very, very forward-thinking, very creative formulas, very efficient formulas that work from Terry Naturally. What am I talking about today? Saga Pro. So Saga Pro is a brand new formula from Terry Naturally, and the feedback that I get from my clients is amazing. So if there is any kind of urinary health problem, come on in and talk to me today, or talk to any of the people on the aisle at Save A Lot about Terry Naturally Saga Pro. Urinary urgency, frequency, nighttime urination, all of those issues resolve beautifully with Terry Naturally Saga Pro.
And as with everything else over there at Save A Lot, tell them about the exciting news with that 15% off. What a bargain.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Because you look at the prices on the shelf and you're thinking, oh, wow, this is much lower than I spend anywhere else. This is much lower than that internet site that I go to. And then when you get to the register, that low price is discounted by 15% more. Nowhere else are you going to be able to have such fabulous low pricing with the highest quality brand names. These are nationally known brand names, not a name that you've never seen before. And so those companies have to maintain a level of quality, and you can get the very best prices from those.
Tell them where to go, Janet. Tell them where you'll be.
All right, just about a half mile south of Sample Road on the west side of 441 State Road 7. It's just north of Northwest Medical Center in the Penn Dutch Plaza. It's no longer Penn Dutch. We're trying to make it Save A Lot Plaza. However, right now, if you Google or if you put in your maps, Penn Dutch Plaza, it will take you right to it, and Save A Lot is all the way at the south end of the Penn Dutch Plaza.
All right, Janet, great talking to you. We'll check in with you tomorrow, all right?
I have more good news for tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
You take care, dear. Janet Cimarelli, Save a lot. We'll be back right after this.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is
Steve
everything
Kane Show.
he said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used
Yeah,
tires.
what's your name?
And when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for now. Everything he said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation.
I got more stuff,
At the
but let's take the
sole
calls
authority,
first.
At little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Soul Authority today.
Looks like everything's working kind of okay. It's just new stuff I got to get used to.
Sounds like it's just a question.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits,
Steve Kane
creditors,
Show.
government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th
Oh,
from
boy.
2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to
Well,
the
we-
Steve
we-
Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, or with some calls, yeah. Sure. All right, you're on the radio.
Yeah, hey Brian, hey Steve.
Hey.
Hi, just want news. I'm calling in. I use you guys, the people that add on your shows, your sponsors. They're really great. I use I use the Gold Guy.
William Youngerman, yeah.
And I have a small business, and I went to Friendly Tire, Mike, and picked up 2 for my truck, 2 for my car. I also use Save a Lot and Siegel. I just went to Siegel, literally about maybe about 2 weeks ago, give or take.
Very neat.
Siegel. So you guys, your sponsors are really good. We appreciate it.
Glad you're enjoying them.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. Oh, that was just nice. That was nice. I appreciate that.
I thought that was very nice.
And we're not used to. We're uncomfortable with nice.
I thought he was going to follow up with something heavy, but
I was waiting for a but because of all these great compliments. I'm reluctant to do this, but yeah, Al.
has he been on today?
Maybe he's awake now.
There's a difference.
I like to thank.
Yeah, the Academy.
Al,
Yeah.
come on.
Christian
Oh my goodness. You know, you said that during your last call. Do you remember? Do you know that you called earlier and said the exact same thing? Are you aware of that? Oh, okay. All right. It was on the radio. Okay. Got any content? You have any content? Have you seen the Drudge Report today? Because the Drudge Report. Oh, yeah, he doesn't want the Drudge Report. During the break.
He's trying to cover up.
Well, he could try to cover up all day, but listen to this. Let me pull this up because I just was looking at this.
You know what he's talking about? Al?
He knows
Al,
exactly
Al,
what I'm
you know
talking
what
about.
Brian's doing?
No, we're not talking about climate change. The lead story on the Drudge Report, which is the most read political news site in America, Bernie on the left, Elizabeth Warren on the right, and the headline, Battle on the Left, 20 Days of Iowa. Bernie says, women can't win the presidency. And Yeah. So now Bernie Sanders is a sexist. It's the headline of Drudge, and Elizabeth Warren is saying it too. Any comment?
Yeah, 70% of his staff in Burlington, Vermont are women.
Well, that's not the same.
What does that mean? You know, 100% of the women that Bill Clinton sexually harassed and assaulted were women. Did you know that 100% of his victims were women? What does that mean? That he loves women because he's got a lot of women around? Sexists usually surround themselves with women. All right. Oh my God! I let him go. I couldn't. I tried. I thought maybe we could. Oh, there's worse.
No, not up next time.
No, there's no more. No, there's worse on hold. But you know, there's a story. When I was on the Drudge Report. This is at the top of the Drudge Report too, and this is very bizarre. Fox has launched a new black television network called Fox Soul. Soul, not like Soul Authority. Soul, Fox Soul. It's a new streaming service targeting African Americans, and they have a list of some of the. To me, this idea of racially segregated programming is kind of over. What do black people want to see that white people don't want to see today? It seems kind of a dated concept. Fox Soul, you know, there was a time when you turned on television and it was all white people and things like this. Now everything's so integrated. I don't know, but I don't understand what that's about. What do blacks want to see on TV or hear? Because this is what they say. This is at the Drudge Report. Fox is setting its sight on the African American audience with a new streaming service called Fox Soul. The live ad-supported streaming channel is free. It debuts today. Fox Soul announced in a press release, "We are proud to debut this African American focused channel created by and for members of the black community," says James Dubois, head of programming for Fox Soul. "We intend to inform, inspire, and empower our viewers by meeting their needs for authentic conversations on topics relevant to our life." What topics are relevant to black people's lives that are not relevant to all American lives? I don't understand. It just seems dated.
It seems like pandering to me.
Pandering to black people? Okay, now they give a little bit of the lineup. Here's one show. On the 7 with Dr. Sean, hosted by spiritual leader Dr. Sean McMillan. Doesn't sound like a black guy, but I'm assuming he is.
Black Irish.
Yeah, black Irishman. This program tackles the daily hot topics that concern the black community through the lens of unwavering faith and insight. I don't understand what. Okay, Mike and Donnie host another show that presents frank conversations about issues that black men and women face today. The only issue that black men and black women face today that really isn't dealt with is there are so many black men and women who are supporters of Donald Trump, and they're being attacked without mercy. The Tammy Mack Show, hosted by radio personality Tammy Mack, is a celebration of black culture through music, performance, and the spoken word, as well as meaningful conversation. Here's another show, Out Loud with Claudia Jordan. This show provides the perspective of a black woman on issues surrounding dating, beauty, and relationships. Fit and Fab is a weekly show concentrating on fitness, health, and nutrition dedicated towards... I just don't understand what... It seems to me in 2020 that the time of a racially... BET's been around forever and nobody black people don't watch it. Nobody watches BET. Yeah. You know, it's a dated concept.
Dating is the exact right term.
Yeah, there's no need for it today. Well, Fox Soul, S-O-U-L. I guess I don't get it. You know, this debate tonight's spectacular. It's spectacular.
It's getting really nasty. They're getting ready to do to Bernie this time what they did to him last time. They're finding ways to cut him out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think, not that he took it so well last time, but
well, they paid him off last time.
Yeah, and he's already has 3 houses. So what else are they going to give him?
I think it's 5, Steve.
He's up to 5 houses?
Yeah. I could be wrong, but is it 4? Is it 5? How many? I have one house. You have one house? You have one house. I have one house. Yeah. Bernie has multiple houses. So I don't... He's the socialist. Well, Elizabeth Warren's setting him up because she's called him a sexist. She says,
Did you love the snake crying act she did yesterday on the air?
oh no, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, I heard Bernie said these terrible things about me, and again, she was like, oh, what a phony.
Well, she set Bernie up, and this is what's happened here. There was a private phone conversation between the two of them. She says that Bernie Sanders told her that a woman can't win the presidency.
Yeah.
She's got 3 or 4 people that back her up, all work for her, of course. And Bernie says he never said it. So, you know, with the...
I heard Bernie's remark. That wasn't what he said. Remarks I heard quoted. He said, you know, there are a lot of people working on all our campaigns, and sometimes our workers
Well,
say things that
no.
are not necessarily
No. Elizabeth Warren said Bernie Sanders said to her on a phone conversation that a woman can't win the presidency. The thing with Bernie, he didn't talk about that. Some Bernie Sanders campaign workers have been bad-mouthing Warren, and I can't control them. We got a lot of people in the campaign. I never said such a thing about a woman. He lied. He's saying that she's lying.
Well, it's going to get nasty among men.
Well, in the era of Me Too, a woman's truth is her truth and should not be questioned. And the Democrats have been saying, once a woman makes an accusation, it is her truth, it is not to be questioned, and if you question it, it is sexist. So Elizabeth Warren's truth is what she said. So Bernie has no way to defend himself now.
In such trouble, these Democrats.
Yeah, but it's good for us.
Oh, yes. Well, it's good for the country. More problems they have in that Democratic Party, the better it is for our country. Let's take a break. We'll be back with a Gold Report after this. Right.
Hey, Scott. Hey, you can go on in and sit down. We got about 10 minutes left of the show. Next door down. You can go sit down. We got about 10 minutes left, though, of the show.
Hours. Heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine.
We got 10 minutes left, so.
In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the
Hello?
horrors of
Oh, great.
hardcore
Gotcha.
addiction
Okay.
down the
Youngerman.
road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Hold on. We're coming back.
The Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention.
Right, Youngerman's on the
to get
line.
them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, Youngerman.
Just search for WWNN.
All right, it is that time for which we all wait on the Steve Kane Show each morning, Monday through Friday. The Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, of course, one of the world's leading experts on the precious metals. He has been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold and silver markets for, I think it's 53 years.
That's right. Before Neil Armstrong walked on the moon.
Exactly right.
I'm serious.
Stuff, and these are exciting times with the precious metals. William, how does it look this morning?
Looking like a continued buying opportunity for us, Steve. The market's closing lower yesterday. Gold closing down to $1,547.40. Silver broke down under $18, closing at $17.91 the ounce, while platinum stayed at $972 and palladium at $2,109. This morning overnight we saw gold hit as low as $1,535.60, and then came rushing back up to about $1,545. Right now it's at $1,544. That's down $3.40 from yesterday. Silver got down to $17.54 before recovering to $17.70 this morning. That's down 22 cents. Platinum down $5 at $9.67, and palladium up $7 right now at $21.16. So we're just below that $1,550 support level, which of course did not hold. The next support level is somewhere around that 1520 area. We haven't gotten down there yet, and we'll see how this range holds. But right now, it looks like a great buying opportunity. And the Mideast crisis seems to be cooling off a little bit. We'll see how long that lasts.
Well, it's exciting times in the precious metals markets, and today with this little pullback, that's what you learned from William. Buy on the pullbacks, and this is such an occasion. Get over to William Youngerman's today. William, you also purchase precious metals. If people have things around the house that are valuable, silver sets, candelabras, anything that's made of precious metals, they can turn it into green cash. Tell them how it works.
Yeah, for over 50 years, we've made a two-way market in all of the precious metals, regardless of the form, whether it's used jewelry or new jewelry or any kind of collectibles that you have. Bring them in for a free appraisal. Just tell us you're a Steve Kane listener. We'll be happy to give you a free appraisal, and if you decide to sell it, it's cash on the spot. We also have all the precious metals in stock for immediate delivery.
And you always get your best deal, your best prices at William Youngerman, especially for you Steve Kane listeners. They go out of their way to make sure that you get all the breaks. William Youngerman, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank America building. You'll find William on the first floor, directly across the hallway from the bank. You can reach him by phone at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com. William, we'll see you maybe later today, all right?
Okay, have a great.
You take care.
See, this thing with Bernie Sanders, he's being set up like last time. Okay, this thing where he said, and Elizabeth Warren says he said it to her on the phone that a woman can't win the presidency, right? About a year ago, a story came out. It was an old article he wrote, like in the 70s or something, where he talked about all women have a rape fantasy. Remember that? It came out about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah. And Elizabeth Warren is setting him up to just body slam him and knock him out forever from running.
It's going to get
I love it.
Nasty.
I don't know if it'll get nasty on TV tonight.
Well, I think they're
These
recognizing it. The smaller the field gets,
yeah,
the more personal it gets.
That's right.
And I think tonight there's going to be blood flowing tonight.
Well, it seems the media have decided Bernie's not the guy. They like Elizabeth Warren all of a sudden.
Media.
Well, the media are asking the questions, right? They're the ones that ask the questions during the debate. So if they've decided Bernie's out, they'll make this an issue. If they want to protect him, they won't bring it up.
The way it shapes up to me, I think that it's going to be a bloodbath, and I think it's going to start tonight.
Well,
I think it's going to get really
if I were moderating the debate, my first question would be to Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren, did Bernie Sanders tell you that a woman could not win the presidency?
No, they're not going to.
She'll say yes, he'll deny it, and then boom, fireworks.
Well, I don't know that.
Fireworks.
They're not going to ask questions like that.
That'd be a great question.
It would be a great question.
And I'd read that rape fantasy paper that he wrote to him. Yeah, I'd read that to him right there on. That'd be beautiful.
No, I think you're overshooting him. I don't think it's going to be quite that.
Well, listen, this thing with Elizabeth Warren and this phone call. See, what they had this they call it a non-aggression pact, where they wouldn't criticize one another, and it just fell apart this week. Yeah. And she's desperate because if she doesn't place in Iowa, she feels like she'll be discredited.
She's got big problems. Well, they all have problems. Who in the Democratic Party that's a candidate for president isn't in trouble? Competition.
Yeah.
And
they're all flawed.
Deeply flawed.
See, the thing with Elizabeth Warren is she has a history of lying, right? Her fake Indian heritage and all. She's, so to get
She has a tenuous relationship with the truth.
Well, yeah. And, the thing about Elizabeth Warren with that Indian thing, she thinks it's forgotten. She lived that lie for a long time. When she applied for the Bar Association in Texas when she first left law school, she said she was Native American. So she ran with that fraud for her entire adult life since she graduated high school. That's not something you can just walk away from. Pretending to, it's like that NAACP white girl that was pretending to be black. Remember her?
Right.
Rachel Dozell. Well, she got arrested in a food stamp fraud after they, yeah.
And that's the last one.
That's the last I heard of her. But Elizabeth Warren thinks she's moved beyond that, but she has. She is probably the most vulnerable of all of them because she has this lie that she lived her entire life. Well, she made a very funny video online that was she didn't mean it to be funny. She did a live stream. You know, I live stream all the time. She was doing a live stream on Instagram from her kitchen. It was about a year ago, drinking beer.
Oh yeah, the one where the husband walked in and.
Well, first of all, everybody knows you're not supposed to give alcohol to the engines. You know what I mean? But she's there drinking beer, and just kidding, guys, it's a joke. And her husband walks in to their kitchen, and she says, "Thank you very much for being here," to her husband.
Right.
In the kitchen, in the home in which he supposedly lives. I mean. Doesn't she just assume he's coming home from work? It was so. But people think she's gay.
I'm gonna stay up for the debate if I can. You don't have no idea what time it starts.
It's either 8 or 9, and I'm telling you, you don't want to.
It'll be good. It's gonna be feisty. It'll be feisty.
You think so?
Yes. Yeah, I think they're all desperate, and desperate situations call for desperate measures.
That is true.
Anyway, that does it for today. We will be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Don't forget the State of the Union night. We're going to be celebrating it with all our friends over at Wings Plus. Brian over at Wings Plus, and you come on by and see us. Brian, get there early if you want to see Brian, because he's got to go home and get tucked into bed because he is an early riser. We thank you for joining us. We will be back to do it all over again starting 6 a.m. tomorrow. Until then, on behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. God bless America. If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25%.
All right, guys, take care. Make sure you subscribe, all right? See you later.